unprotected sex of
Well,
the internet.
I stopped using
Oh,
wire.
God.
I stopped using porn, and my computers don't break anymore. So
Yeah.
That's funny. I think it is okay. I
gosh.
think it is streaming. I think that is good. Okay.
It does make me think. Last, on Halloween, I was streaming Amnesia Rebirth, and there's a breastfeeding scene, and it took me by surprise, so I quickly censored it with the box ghost from Danny Phantom. It was amazing.
Yeah, Twitch is being weird now.
Well, I was like, oh fuck, and I just like quickly like grabbed a random image from my download photos because I got a picture of the box ghost because I've been playing Phasmophobia, and just like having him like pop out from underneath my webcam.
Yeah, Adam, did I hear that they just crunched down a little bit more on their
copyright bullshit
content rules or whatever?
Yeah, apparently I haven't received any like DMCA strikes or anything yet, but apparently people are getting them in really annoying ways where it's like they're getting striked for things that like weren't even in their video because their detection software just sucks.
Yeah, I saw you like tweet out a couple things about
that. Yeah, I
like
retweeted.
They were like humming something and it sounded like some, meditation thing.
Yeah, and Twitch's response right now is just like, "Oh, you can just mute the music in game," and it's like, well, okay, it's like you're gonna have to mute like the entire audio of every game if that's the case.
That just sucks. I would rather.
Eli, you're breathing into the microphone. I don't know if it's the right microphone you want to use or if you want to do push to talk, but you're.
And I can
so Adam,
this microphone as much as I want to.
Adam,
it's my main mic.
Yes.
Adam.
Hi.
So the election is still going on, but I'm currently looking at the vote results from the New York Times site because that's the only site I can trust, and they're still counting on the votes. But it looks like Joe Biden is the winner for now. But
yeah,
I'm still waiting.
Yeah, I mean it's expected that Joe Biden is the.
I never expected the votes to take so long to count down. I mean, this is like the first election all over again. But at least this time is short because it's only 2 weeks long.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that why you're having your thing earlier in the month?
Personally, I am just sick and tired of hearing about politics. So
yeah, it's so annoying.
Eli, can I get you to do you have like a microphone like headset?
I'm talking for my microphone headphone. I'm talking for my microphone headphone and using Zoom from my phone app.
Oh, okay. Do you mind if do you know how to like push to talk, like mute yourself when you're not speaking? Just because like there's a lot of we can hear the breathing into the microphone. It's making like a kind of noise, and so it's just. Oh, thank you so much.
Softer though.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. So, are politics the reason you're having this hangout earlier in the month?
No. I don't remember.
Is it Thanksgiving?
No, Canadian Thanksgiving already happened. I would have to check my calendar.
Yeah, Gael was telling me about this Canadian.
Oh, and Adam.
What's this?
Yeah, what's up?
Adam. To be fair, speaking of stuff that's happening right now, I'm pretty sure the lockdown will end, at least here in America, tomorrow after all the votes are counted down.
Well, I mean, there's a bunch of places in the states that aren't even locked down right now, isn't that? There isn't a national lockdown.
Mainly in Florida.
Utah
is Florida locked down right now?
Yeah.
No, Florida's not locked down anymore. It has been locked down since like about a few weeks ago, to be exact.
Hey,
okay.
Adam, I don't think your stream is going yet.
It's not?
And by the way...
It is now. I just saw it. It took me a while.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay, cool.
There's something weird going on where this seems to only be happening with Adam, but his webcam is horizontally flipped.
Is it?
On stream.
On stream?
Take a look.
It must be your Zoom.
On the stream, it's horizontally.
Well, no, because it's horizontally flipped for you, and it's streaming from my perspective.
I see it. It's like mirrored.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I have something fun to share from last month. So I don't know if you guys can see it.
Is that like a bite?
He's on chat.
Yeah, I got a dog bite at work.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, so
You're gonna make your millions the old-fashioned way.
wait, what?
You're gonna make your millions the old-fashioned way in a lawsuit.
No, actually, so what
The
happened
American
was,
way.
So a dog fight broke out. So it was this
Fair.
pit bull humping the face of another pit bull. Then he latched on, and I went to go choke out the dog because when he latches, that's the only way you can really get them off. So a little pro tip: if a dog's biting somebody nearby and you want to help them, get something to choke them out with, because that's sadly the only way is to cut off the air supply. But anyway, I went to go do that. He knew I was going to stop him, and then I felt the next thing I noticed, I felt this crushing feeling against my hand.
Oh,
Is it like broken or?
Then, no, thank goodness. But then I felt grinding against the bone, and I was like, ah.
Oh no.
Did you say these were chihuahuas?
No, this was a pit bull.
So we got we got
Oh.
we got a few new
I've been bit before by a
people
little
today,
dog.
by the way, who are not normally here. I was wondering if they wanted to like chime in at all.
Yeah.
I've been watching.
Adam.
Eli, hold on. Just wait for Miguel, because you've already asked me a couple things. Miguel hasn't had a chance yet. I'm gonna mute you real quick though. I can still hear your breathing. So, all right, what's that, Miguel?
I just want to thank you for all the hard work you've done. I've watched your stuff since like 2014.
Oh, thank you so
and
much.
It's just, yeah,
It's really
inspired
impressive.
me a lot.
Oh yeah.
Now I'm at film school, and I
Oh,
think
wow.
you're one of the main reasons why you've helped me be where I am now.
Thank you so much. I wish you success in your film
Thank
school
you.
adventures.
Adam.
Yes.
Adam.
Mhm.
So you did a review on an action part movie, right? In fact, you reviewed it as part of Quickies.
What about? Sorry, what about my quickies?
You reviewed a movie on Action
Oh,
Park,
Class
right?
Action Park. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
there's
there were
also a
some
movie
comments
on
of people saying the audio was fine on the HBO release, so it might have just been a Fantasia Festival thing.
But there were other people saying
and
no, it
but
isn't fine in the
actually, Adam,
HBO
hold
release.
Oh, really?
Hold a second.
I don't know.
There's also another Action
Judge for
Park movie
yourself.
out there. There's also another Action Park movie out there.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean by that?
Ryan Knoxville.
It's like a
Oh,
fictional
that.
comedy
No,
film.
yeah, no, that's completely different. I was talking about the. Yeah, I don't even know. What is that? Johnny
It's that film
Knoxville one
starring Johnny
called?
Knoxville.
Action
Yeah.
Point.
Action Point.
Here, I'll put the link,
Okay,
IMDb
yeah.
link in the chat.
I forgot to watch that movie. I think I had plans to, and then I just completely forgot it existed.
I haven't
Yeah,
actually watched a movie.
Everybody hated it.
I've been catching up on series. Like I just finally finished the first season of The Mandalorian.
Mhm.
So,
Oh,
which is really good.
It's really good for
something-
Star Wars.
Yeah,
Did
something shocked me because it felt too soon. I won't say what it is, but
okay.
yeah,
I'm not
That's
watching Mandalorian. It's not.
that is my theory though. They're definitely not going to fuck up their series because those are going to be the most profitable ones other than the movies because they'll just get box office sales.
I mean, they want.
doesn't
I
mean
mean,
they
they
won't.
want everything to be profitable. It's not like they don't want their movies to be
well, okay.
profitable.
I mean, the series are going to have most of the effort because that's the stuff that's going to keep people subscribed to Disney Plus.
I think Star Wars
really
the number one problem is writing. I think almost everything else is so professionally done. that
Yeah.
it's fine.
yeah, they had no plan.
And it's
They had
just
no
the writing.
plan.
Yeah, exactly. You have no
writing is
plan
awful.
whatsoever to do.
It's
Even if you had
two
even if you-
directors
even if you
arguing
don't
with
have
each
a plan,
other
I think it could be better.
God,
throughout
if
a
I would've-
single
if I could
trilogy.
make- honestly, if I could make a Star Wars movie, I'd make it about through the perspective of a stormtrooper or something like that. That'd
Yeah, I've
be-
been saying that like
that'd
a
be
Saving
sick.
Private Ryan was.
I think like a show just about like different kinds of troopers would be interesting.
Like
That
a
would
True
be
Blood too.
I think they
Yeah.
need to expand the universe more. You know, it feels so small now because
I mean, they
everything gets
basically
referenced.
erased a good third of it. So
Well, it's not even the erasing from the books. I just mean in the movie universe, it feels like you run into
Yeah.
the same 10 people over and over again. And so I
And
think
everyone's
that,
a Skywalker and a
right,
Kenobi,
you know,
so-
Everyone's a
Uh,
Palpatine.
even-
Everyone's a Skywalker.
even Mandalorian season 2 has got a character who came back. That's like, we don't
Oh.
need these big characters from the big
yeah,
movies.
yeah. But that's the thing.
Yeah.
I
Well,
always...
but like the prequels, as bad as the prequels are, at least they expanded the universe. And now I think that pod racing is just as much Star Wars as a Death Star is. And so that's probably the best thing that came from the prequels, was that it actually did make the universe feel bigger.
And that's the thing. Because of the sequels, I appreciate the prequels a lot more. They're not great, but I still get...
Everybody says that. I don't appreciate them anymore.
Oh no, they're garbage.
I just
they're garbage. But I get some appreciation.
I gotta bump in here. Somebody in chat is asking for a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Bram.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy, very happy birthday. And also, there's another person here that hasn't been here before. And no pressure if you don't want to chime in, Emily, but if you do, you have the floor.
Hi, Emily.
Hello.
I'm from the Okanagan Valley. It's very nice to meet
Oh wow.
YouTuber from Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Low
Nice to meet you.
population.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, oh, sorry.
I said low population, so like our entire country is less than that of California, so there aren't going to be as many YouTubers. So
No.
Oh, Adam.
yeah, thanks for joining.
Yeah, hopefully I'll be here more often. I didn't know that you guys had this option in Patreon.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
it's a fun option.
It's every month, usually Saturdays at 1 p.m., but no specific Saturday in the month.
Has
Just
it ever
whenever.
not been on a Saturday?
Sorry?
Has it ever not been on a Saturday?
I don't know, but I figured I would say usually in case there's been one time that it wasn't.
Hey, Adam.
Yeah, what's up?
What do you have here?
I just wanted to say that your song Acceptance is one of the best songs I've heard in my life, and it's the best song I've heard this year so far, and it really, really touched me, like, really, really deeply.
Thank you so much. I don't know. I would like to do more with music. And that's the most recent song I've written, like fully anyway. I think it's the best one on the album. I mean it's supposed to be anyway, so.
Your song The Scab, especially like the music video, but also like the lyrics really like inspired me to do more like psychedelic art.
Oh yeah.
Type stuff. Yeah, I really loved it. It really inspired me.
That's great. Thank you.
I wouldn't say psychedelics themselves, but like anything psychedelic based, it really has a lot of imagination, in my opinion.
Oh, that reminds me. I watched Enter the Void at 3 a.m.
How recently?
Today.
Oh.
Oh wow.
So
yeah.
you probably haven't slept then, because that movie's like 3 hours long almost.
Well, I didn't start it at 3 a.m. I started at like 2, but yeah.
Okay.
Really did
My favorite
something.
movie of all time.
Hey. But yeah, I thought it was really fantastic and really like astonishing, like the filmmaking of it all.
Yeah. It's very different and creative.
It like felt like an out of body experience. I just felt like numb in my body.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why I don't think like the length is that, like, even though it does overstay its welcome in a way, I think that movie kind of has an exemption because it's supposed to take you to places that you don't necessarily want it. Like, you're supposed to feel like you're along for the ride and like you don't have control over it, sort of thing.
And I wanted to ask you what you thought about, like, because this isn't like a criticism I had. I just kind of like had a thought about it, and I wanted to, like what other people had to say about it. It's like the beginning conversation with the main character and his friend. Like, do you think that it was like a little expository in a way?
I think, in a way, but I don't think that there are, like, I think it describes what the movie's going for sure. I don't, on repeat viewings, like I've seen the movie many times, the opening sequence never feels like too long or, too direct or anything. I feel like you get the information that is needed. What are you saying?
Yeah, I was like saying because like I feel like the film has like enough like interpretable thing. I can't say it. I don't know how to say the
Interpretable?
word, but yeah, it has enough of that in it that's like subtle enough that like it feels like that conversation with Oscar and his friend. It's like a preparation of the movie in a way, or like a send off.
Yeah. It's information that I think is helpful for the film.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like unnecessary or
I do think I
Unmuted.
prefer Climax though, but that's just because
Yeah,
Climax
me
is
too.
my favorite
Yeah,
movie.
yeah,
That's
I
just
like
because
Climax.
Climax is like in my top 5 movies. So
Climax
Oh,
has
yeah?
a more of a narrative, right?
Yeah, and it's
Between the
not
two.
as
Kinda.
disturbing as the
Yeah,
other movies.
debatably. I mean,
Well,
I would argue
I
Enter the
know.
Void has more
I
of a narrative, really.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a
but
bit more
I
like non-structured. It's not linear, really.
You could
It kind of
write
goes everywhere.
a longer Wikipedia plot summary for Enter the Void than you could for Climax.
Yeah.
There are more
So-
beats in the
So
story.
Adam,
What's up?
so to get back to Mandalorian,
Mhm.
I overheard that season 2 of Mandalorian is going to undo the parts of Rise of Skywalker.
Oh man, I'm so not involved or invested in any Star Wars. So if this,
Yeah,
I mean,
hate
I
Star
can't.
Wars.
I just have no investment in it. So I haven't seen a single episode of The Mandalorian, and I don't think I will.
Yeah, I was gonna see like The Rise of Skywalker in the theaters, but then I saw it was getting bad reviews, and I guess I was kind of like, yeah, I don't want to support Disney, so I didn't.
You should have just watched the pinata cut.
Adam, are you a fan of
made it so much better.
Firefly?
Yeah.
I've been meaning to get to it. I like Nathan Fillion. I've heard that it's great.
Yeah, Firefly's amazing.
I think it's the most gracious comparison I could make for the Mandalorian.
Oh yeah.
Actually, it was kind of funny. 'cause
Yeah, I don't know why that only got
Space
one season.
Cowboys.
Just like nobody watched it.
Yeah, well, it was on
Yeah.
network TV. Is the problem?
Yeah.
It really should have been on
And
I don't know,
Fox.
Star
Yeah.
or something. Like,
Yeah,
They tied it all together.
it was
HBO.
just too early. Well, Dan Harmon was talking about that. He was like, you'd
Yeah.
be shocked how many shows win awards on things like HBO, that how few people watch them in comparison to like a 2.5 Men.
Yeah, speaking of TV shows, what rating would you give like The Boys season 2? Because you really loved season 1.
Yeah. Boys season 2, like 6 or a 7, maybe a 6.
Ooh. It has like higher ratings of Rotten
Not bad.
Tomatoes. Even like the average rating from like the critic scores are higher.
I guess the Metacritic one is higher.
The parts I
liked.
liked a lot more than season 1, but I don't
Really?
think I liked it as consistently across season.
Yeah, I just thought season 1 was smarter, just more intelligent at how it was communicating what it wanted to. You know?
I agree.
I feel like
I think that it's more.
everything it's going for in season 2 is just so much more obvious, and it's also a bit sloppier, especially story-wise. And like even execution-wise, there's like some action sequences that are a little meh, you know?
I guess
never
it's
got
some of the
into-
character stuff.
There's also like the most obnoxious product placement ever. Like twice. There's the well, there's not only Fresca, but there's also Almond Joy. There's like
Almond
2
Joy.
products that they're
Yep.
spamming the entire season, which didn't happen in season 1.
Maybe it's supposed to be a satire of product placement.
No. They're playing it
Exactly.
off as though it's part of the joke. They like wrote it into the script with like both of them. But that's still a product. It's very clearly a product placement.
You know what though? But does that
Where you
bother-
make
that
a
doesn't- I
quickie?
don't- that doesn't bother me. I
If
noticed
it
doesn't-
wasn't the
Yeah.
entire season, it wouldn't bother me. You know?
Okay,
So
that's
like
fine.
Wayne's World is a good example. Like that's like, okay, fine, that's funny. Right? Or it's
Right,
like have a
right.
Pepsi or whatever they did. And like
You know what it
in
reminds
The
me of?
Boys, it was literally like half of the episodes. I would say the majority of the episodes had either a Fresca or an Almond Joy. And it was just just
You
kept showing
remember-
up.
You
You're
remember?
right. Fresca was a
Are
part
you
of-
interested in like?
What are you saying, Emily?
potentially
Sorry.
Oh, I was just saying they were acting like Fresca was a part of the plot, like it had something to do with Compound V.
Yeah. And then Almond Joy was a plot device too that I won't spoil, but
Yeah, are you interested in like potentially making a quickie for season 2?
I just don't have as much to say about it other than I didn't like it as much. I don't think
Alright.
like I've got other things I'm working on, so I don't know.
Fair
I feel-
enough.
to me,
I'm
it
not as
reminds me of old
passionate about
YouTube
it.
when everyone hated anyone who did any kind of sponsorships. And always
So,
like, it was a sellout. And now as we're so used to it, I kind of feel like television has gotten into that kind of thing too.
Yeah, I don't
I'm just
know.
getting
Like
used to it.
there's certain
It's on YouTube. They're honest.
it depends on
They
depends
divide
on
a
how it's
certain
done.
Portion of it.
I'm not gonna pretend like
Like on YouTube,
sorry, I'll let you finish.
The boys will soon. Like,
oh, thank you.
Yeah,
sponsor
Alex.
It's just that on
or
YouTube,
something.
people are like on YouTube. They like divide a certain section into advertising something. They say like it's an advertisement. It's I think, required by law in some countries to like say it's an advertisement. With product placements in TV shows and movies, it's like they try to hide the fact that it's a product placement, and it's this lack of being disingenuous is the problem.
Yeah.
Or at least part of it.
I don't know. If I see a brand in a film that's like not super low budget indie, I assume it's a product placement.
Yeah.
So like
it'll make you invisible while you walk past the zombies.
Yeah, exactly. Like it depends on how it's done. So in World War Z, they stopped the film to give us a Pepsi commercial. Like the basically it was
So,
they might as
like-
well
It's
have
even
cut.
framed up
They
like
might as
one.
well have cut to an ad break.
Like
Like
that-
that.
Pepsi.
He
What about
he was
Sonic the
interrupted by what he
Hedgehog?
was doing.
Remember in like Sonic the Hedgehog, they had like Olive Garden product placement?
Yeah.
Or
That's like
IHOP in
a
Man of
fucking.
Steel.
It's a kids movie, whatever.
What about the scene in South?
Man of Steel was a superhero movie anyways.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
have a
don't know.
question.
Sonic shit.
I've
What about the scene in Southland Tales where the cars fuck?
That's not a
What?
real product.
The scene in what?
In Southland Tales, you know, the epic
Yeah.
Dwayne Johnson rom-com.
The
I've
I don't know
never
what
seen
the-
it.
it's
It
not
premiered at
good.
Cannes Film Festival, and it got booed very, very hard.
I
Good.
don't hate Southland Tales. I
what was
think
this?
it has like
It's very
It's
bizarre.
Richard Kelly's movie after Donnie Darko that proved that he was a hack the entire time.
I mean, wasn't he already?
Yeah,
I like Donnie
the
Darko.
entire time. That's the point of the entire time.
I just
Like I like Donnie
Yeah.
Darko, but it's clearly a fluke.
Yeah.
He's
You
a
got
real
lucky.
Pascal
I mean,
Laguiar.
I don't know.
I don't know. Like after looking at Donnie Darko, it is just like teenage angst.
It's a great movie for teenagers. It's like
Kinda, but
one of the
it
best
has a little
teenager
bit more
movies.
than that, though. I'll die on the hill that
I'm not
Donnie
saying
Darko's
that
very
makes it
sad.
bad. I'm just saying
Like, I
like
feel like
if
Richard
you're a
Kelly
teenager,
kind of
you'll like it
developed-
even more.
I kind
What
of feel like
rating
Richard
is
Kelly
it?
might develop more of the world of Donnie Darko afterwards, and I've heard somewhere that there might be he's considering on developing into a show at some point. Like
Please.
more of the-
Oh yeah, Southland Tales or something.
No, Donnie Darko.
Donnie Darko. Oh really?
Southland Tales.
They already had a
I've heard
shitty
about it.
sequel that I never saw called
Yeah,
S
I heard
Darko.
about that. I was just gonna
Sister
mention
Yeah,
that.
which is direct to video.
Sudarko?
by some
Starko.
Donnie
Yes,
S.
Darko.
Darko.
Yeah.
Or S.
Darko.
It's the new Super Size Me 2.
I wouldn't really
Make a sequel to something 20 years later that no one wants to
Donnie
watch.
Donnie Darko, the squeakquel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I have a question for Adam.
Donnie Darko
Sure.
2
Donnie
Electric
Darko
Boogaloo.
2, Electric
Was that
Boogaloo.
was that Miguel that had a question? Who was it?
Yes, I do. Do you agree with David Lynch's assessment with how advertisements being done? Like, I think he was quoted by saying, "It's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit."
Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing: is like
Advertisement.
if I were to come out
referring
with
to-
like an extreme position that had no nuance in it whatsoever like that, people would get pretty angry at me. But people like David Lynch, as long as you're a creative, crazy kook, you can get away with saying shit like that. I think
As
it
long as
depends
you're
on how
David
it's done.
Lynch.
Because I
Yeah.
watch David Fincher movies that have product placement in them, and I can't pretend like I like the product placement. I can't pretend like it makes the movie better. I would argue that it makes the movie slightly worse, but I still love those movies. It doesn't ruin the film. I just like there's other ways to get money. I don't like the idea of people saying that like it's an absolute necessity for films, because it's really not. If let's say I had a film that I was trying to make, and the only way to get money was through a product placement, what I would probably do is just dedicate the first 30 seconds of the movie. I would just go in front of the camera as the director and say like, hey, Coca-Cola paid me some money, and they wanted a product placement in this movie. I'm not going to distract you from the film. I'm putting this before the film. Everybody go out and buy a Coca-Cola, right?
But do you
And then
think
they'll
everyone
take a
could do
sip,
that,
and I'll
though?
wink at the camera, and then the movie will start. And then it's technically in the movie because it's within the first like 30 seconds of the runtime. That's a
But
way around
Coca-Cola's
it.
not going to allow you
Oh,
to do
dude.
that.
Are you kidding me?
Maybe.
I would-
I don't know, like that, because that would get media attention. That would actually be even better. because that would like promote the brand
think the
even further
novelty would
because
wear
people
off
would be
fast.
talking
Yeah.
about it. There would be like a
Yeah, people
BuzzFeed
would
article
say
like
it's a-
how one indie director is getting around product placement being distracting for movie-going audiences. You know, it would get
and
more
people could
buzz.
be like, it's a commentary on product placement. Or
Exactly,
something.
exactly. Like the Wayne's World
It
thing was, although that was
satire,
like in the movie, yeah. But if you're
That's
not
my
making a
question about
comedy,
Mank, though.
then it's more difficult.
My question is how is like people say the best CG is the CG you don't see. What about product placements? It could apply. To,
But
like,
I
there
mean, but
are
then the
movies
entire
where
goal
you
is.
see brands, and it could be a product placement, but you just don't think.
Yeah,
about it
I
because
guess
it's not
so.
really
Because
good.
like
Then it's
the
not a very good
it
product
really
placement.
depends. Yeah. Because there's I'm trying to think of some like really effective ones. Because there's like
the most. Oh, sorry.
I'm just wondering. I'm
I
just
bought
wondering
Fresca again.
because there's some
Really effective product
brands that
placements?
are not necessarily product placements, but that filmmakers will like ask permission for to include in the film. So like everybody,
sometimes
if
you
a
need to
character in a
do a
movie has a car, theoretically you'd still show the model of the car,
you'd have to.
even though that's not necessarily a product placement. But there are some shows and movies where the car is the product placement. So like in The Walking Dead, it's like always the same model, the same brand of vehicle manufacturer.
Or season 5 of Breaking Bad.
Yeah, yeah. And so I guess like as soon as you can start noticing, then it's more distracting for the audience, but it's more effective as a product placement because the goal is to get people to notice it, right? So
My question really is about like Mank from David Fincher, and it takes place in the 1930s. It's coming out in like 2 weeks. What product placement's going to be in that from the 1930s?
Oh, you know what? That's actually something that I like is
Pepsodent.
period pieces that use like older brand logo versions.
Oh,
so like when I
Oh,
see
that
like
stuff is
when I
cool,
see a
yeah.
product placement for like an older film, or a film that's a period piece that's pretending to be set in an older time. If I see like a super vintage like Coke bottle or something, I'm like, that's kind of cool. Like that's product placement that I don't even hate because there's like a little bit of effort that goes into it, and it also adds to the realism of the universe rather than taking me out of it.
What about the
Yeah, and
fake
you,
ones
like,
from like
praise
Quentin Tarantino movies?
Yeah, and
That's
you praise
cool.
like
I like
the
those too.
product placement or something in Boyhood. You're like, oh yeah, I like how they use technology and stuff over
It's
the
the
years.
Mhm.
You know,
Well,
Boyhood.
I think I'm gonna skip out on Mank because I've never seen Citizen Kane, and I kind of want to save that until like I go to college or something.
Mhm.
But
I
also,
mean, I don't plan on seeing Citizen Kane because it's like
What's wrong with you guys?
one of the most. It's some of the most basic bitch. Like,
got
oh,
for
you
film
have to
studies
see
in high
this.
school.
I mean, if you know what Rosebud is, then what's the point?
It doesn't cost you anything to watch it though.
It's
It's really good. It's
Costs
just
you
kind
your
of like
valuable time. And if your time is
Well,
very
thankfully,
valuable, then it
I
might
watched
cost
it
you a
for
lot.
the first time, not knowing much.
To me, I just think like the best movies you can watch are the ones that truly stand out to who you are. And for me, Citizen Kane is not something I can see myself watching.
It's good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
love
good.
when I can make a personal connection with a movie.
Stuff like
when I watched
There is
like
nothing
Psycho
wrong with what you
because I
just
knew
said.
everything about it. It was hard to get into it because I was already desensitized to everything.
Yeah, watch movies
Oh
you
my
want to
gosh.
watch, and don't let
Citizen
people tell
Kane.
you you're wrong.
You know what? Talking about Citizen Kane, subsequently made me think about Film Bob or Movie Bob or whatever his name is.
Cinema
Oh, God.
Roberto.
Cinema
He pretended to
Roberto.
be,
yeah,
he
there's
pretended to be
saw
best friends with Lindsay Ellis the other
Yeah,
day, and then she called him.
let's not
yeah, I
gossip.
saw the Lindsay
Let's
Ellis
not-
thing.
let's
That
not
was so
gossip
funny.
about
She
this,
called him creepy.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
I
that's
just have to say
everybody
about it,
already
though.
knows about it. Let's not
I just
dig
want
it
to
in,
say
you
though,
know?
like the
don't
internet
know
is
what
such a
you're
magical
talking
place that
So Adam,
Yeah, what's up?
that stuff like that can happen.
so are you going to see the movie Freaky?
There's a movie
Freaky.
called Freaky.
I've
Is
heard
that
of
what
it.
you're asking about?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like
starring
a mix of
Vince
Freaky
Vaughn.
Friday
Oh.
and
Oh, yeah.
and
I think
Back
Stuck maybe
and a serial
on
killer.
Oh,
Its
this is
working
a new
title was
thing.
Freaky
I
Friday
have
the 13th.
never
It's
heard
like
of
Happy
it.
Death Day, but
I really don't like Vince
Truly,
Vaughn
just look
though.
up the last movie Chris Stuckman reviewed.
Okay.
That's what he's talking about.
Okay.
He gave it a
Yeah,
B.
this director has
The guy
directed
that-
both of the
yep.
Happy Death Day movies. Okay.
No, that makes sense because the concept seems very similar.
Maybe I will watch it then,
Groundhog Day with
because
Freaky Friday.
Happy Death Day, despite not being good, is like kind of funny. It's like not so annoying that it's unwatchable, but annoying enough that I can't say it's a good movie. You know, it's like a little. There's a little bit of cringe enjoyment in there.
You know,
So
actually,
yeah,
it
I'll
does
watch
make
it.
me think.
I
It does make
wanna-
me think because there's a YouTuber I also watch, Kappa Kaiju. I want to see what he does with movie reviews.
I want to ask, I don't remember any like terribly noticeable product placement in the Fincher films I've seen. So I was wondering which ones you meant by that.
I don't know. Like Gone Girl had Mountain Dew and like a Kit Kat, I think. So like if you don't notice them, that's like great.
That's so weird. I watched that.
Fight Club has Pepsi. Yeah, I think all of I've noticed David Fincher movies particularly. Like there's 100% there's product placements.
Well, that's why I asked about the Quentin Tarantino thing, though, is because like if they use it for some kind of joke or something that works, but it's real or not real, like.
Oh no, I love Quentin Tarantino gets to do whatever the fuck he wants with fake brands. Who gives a shit if you?
I know, but I'm saying that if you like the Red Apple joke
for kids and
yeah, you know what? That is something
because it comes from a pure place. You know, it's like the director. You know that the director put that in there because they wanted that in the movie, not because somebody paid them to put it in the movie. You know, that I think that's a big difference.
I think it can be funny if it's just used ironically.
Well, I was thinking about
the
that,
Fresca stuff was hilarious.
I think the Wolf's Tooth thing, like in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I felt like that was a product placement that didn't exist. It was perfect.
Well, Red Apple cigarettes are in like almost everything.
I mean, there's that you could see Brad Pitt making Kraft mac and cheese in one scene.
Oh yeah.
Although that
but that's the thing. Sometimes you need the character to do a thing. So if you can use a name brand and get paid for it, like they're already going to do the thing.
It's showing his life at home, pretty much.
Yeah. If they're gonna smoke cigarettes and you get sponsored by Marlboro, it's like
that's
fine.
fine.
I mean, I don't know. You can still make a fake mac and cheese brand too. That's interesting.
Actually, and that's the thing. You were talking about how you would do product placements in your opening. I would totally do it like Tim and Eric, like how they did purple mattresses or whatever. I would love to do commercials like freaking Tim and Eric. So
yeah, I guess I am looking at this. Not only is there Kraft mac and cheese, there's also Wheaties in the background. But yeah, it's using like the old branding, which I kind of like. It fits in the time period, and they're using something that, you know, it doesn't look like weirdly modern. It's always funny when movies that are set in the future try to do product placements. So like there was like Xbox 720 in the movie Real Steel, I think. And then in the movie, there was like there was another Xbox ad in the Michael Bay film The Island, and it was really funny. Just because like it was still like just the old Xbox branding logo, except they were doing like crazy VR fights and stuff.
Yep.
Oh my god! I kind
see those ones bother me more because I feel like they have to go out of their way.
That just sounds okay. Yeah,
those are just funny.
I feel like those ones are more obnoxious.
Of course, yeah, they're terrible. Those are bad movies.
I like that Real Steel thought that there would be fighting robots like Rock'em Sock'em robots before there would be the next generation of Xbox.
Well, maybe they thought they were counting up sequentially from like 360 to 361.
361.
Yeah, and then they eventually make it to 720.
Actually, the thing is, I was thinking it was going to be like, you know, directional axes, because or axes, because, you know, 320 or 360, whatever.
Xbox
720 is like another.
I think Xbox is screwed right now.
Xbox really fucked themselves with like naming their console, because I understand 360, because the marketing decision behind that is like, we can't call ourselves Xbox 2 when Sony's calling themselves PS3, because that implies that they're more advanced, right? Yeah, they came into the console market late, so they had to be like Xbox 360. Oh, and then it's like they didn't think far enough ahead of like, okay, well, what do we do now after 360?
Like Xbox One.
Xbox One, and now it's
which
Xbox
makes no sense.
One
when I saw
Series
the title,
X?
I just thought like, oh, is it like the first Xbox?
Is the new one called Series X?
Yeah,
Well,
which is so
They're just
stupid because they already had a
Yeah.
variation of the Xbox One called Xbox One X.
Didn't that
Soon
already
they're
have
just
like
gonna be
that
like-
completely
reboot
different.
thing? It felt
Soon
like
they're
how
just
movies
gonna-
get reboots and
soon
just
they're gonna
call
be
it the
like,
original title again.
Now introducing the Xbox GS726.
It should just be like video games and be like Xbox 2018.
The
Xbox.
Game Sphere.
Speaking of video games,
It's
speaking of video games, I think one of the video game consoles is like, it doesn't have game. You don't have to have, doesn't have a slot to put game disc in there.
Mhm.
Making way for more digital games. It's like advancing towards the future.
I don't know. I still like physical media though. I like being
It's
able to
very-
actually
Yeah.
own something.
Because
I
you're
also
old.
like
Oh,
having
that's the
something I
thing.
can sell after the fact or give away, or
I mean, I got
bring
Animal
somewhere
Physical
else.
media.
Yeah.
Has anyone else bought anything from the Criterion sale?
There's a sale.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Barnes
literally
and
never
Noble.
bought a
Noble.
Criterion.
Oh, Barnes
Yeah.
and Noble.
You don't
I
have to
bought
go
it,
into the
I
store.
I should have known about that. I
You
just
could-
bought a Criterion like a week ago.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
should
just
like.
bought
Oh,
a
it-
bundle.
oh, it's
Go
just
to
a
the
link.
website.
Everybody's
no,
talking
you
at the
can't
same
go
time.
there.
I can't understand anybody.
Sorry.
You should go to like the Barnes and Noble website if you can't go in the physical store.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, I already got Come and See. But I picked
can't
up.
find it.
Amazing.
I picked up Parasite and Naked because Naked's on the recommendation for the podcast from Alex.
Oh
That's
yeah.
one of my
Yeah.
great, that's one of my favorite
Yeah.
movies.
Okay, great.
I got
Speaking
4.
of like the Criterion collection, there's this David Fincher movie there called The Game. Have any of you seen that?
Oh, that's like the one I
I
haven't
have.
seen.
Yeah, Sean Penn is fantastic in it.
I feel like
I liked most of it, but I thought the ending was just awful.
Yeah.
It made
Yeah,
no
it's kinda-
sense.
Same.
And the way
It's
characters
like
responded to
it's-
certain things made no sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
feel
like,
like-
Really dumb.
yeah, you can't really like without spoiling it. You can't just do everything like that. You just
Be like,
can't.
yeah, whatever.
There's no plausible way to explain.
By the way, you don't have to if you don't want to, but you're free to jump in at any point. Suspiria 64. I don't know if I've.
Hello.
Hello.
64.
Welcome.
Hello, Mr. Suspiria.
The thing is like I feel like I'm like the most like illiterate when it comes to film because I mostly focus on video games. Like right now, my favorite franchise, excluding Andromeda, is Mass Effect. And
Yeah, we'll see how the
Well, I mean, there's like
remaster.
all films.
Oh, I know. I am
Andromeda,
so
what I'm
excited for
seeing.
that.
We're just talking about nothing, Mr. Miguel. It's fine.
I
It's
know we
nothing
were
specific.
talking about
Oh gosh,
sorry.
it makes
Blue
me think
Shrek.
everyone is getting upset at Elite Dangerous because everything looks like Star Citizen with Odyssey coming out.
Mhm.
But then you look at both of them and they look like Mass Effect, which Mass Effect got their inspiration from an artist that
Mhm.
I think that's what it was. Or
Mass Effect was made in my hometown.
yeah, dude.
Nice.
Neat.
Do you feel proud about it?
I don't take ownership over what people in my general vicinity did, but yes.
Just use that as like I don't know. What if somebody used that as a pickup line? Like, hey, I was born in the same town Citizen Kane was filmed in. Do you wanna bang or something?
Well, Jordan, though, it's like video game storylines have gotten so good these days. I was just talking about how with Star Wars, I think a lot of people my age might, if they were honest with themselves, would realize that they're actually bigger fans of the lore because of the video games than because of the movies.
Oh yeah.
And I think that
for Star Wars.
And like the TV
For Star
shows,
Wars.
like the Clone
Okay.
Wars.
Well,
'Cause
so I
I,
just made a
like,
video on how Harry Potter is better than Star Wars, and Star Wars has 9 movies now, and out of the 9, there's like 2.5 good ones.
My
there aren't 9. There's more than 9.
There's
There's
11.
like Rogue One,
I'm just counting
Solo,
the main
the
stories.
holiday special, the 2
Oh,
Ewok movies.
Oh,
I
those
know,
are the
I'm-
best
I'm-
one. The
I
best
know,
one by
Oh, you're
far.
a
I brought
Star
that up in the
Wars
video.
fan?
I'm-
And
There
there's
might
like the
be
Name
one
name
not
every
counting
Star
the
Wars
set.
film
Everybody
then.
There might be
Was
some
that-
direct
Were you
Emily?
saying,
Star
Emily?
Wars also.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry, I was just gonna ask a quick question. I really enjoy your film commentaries.
Oh yeah.
And you did one recently on the Twilight series. I was wondering if you're going to continue because they get progressively more crazy and
Yeah,
bizarre.
I think that's the plan. I think we'll record another one.
Breaking
soon.
Dawn Part
What's-
2.
I,
Oh my
I
God,
have
is
the
that
other Blu-rays, so might as well use
So-
them.
I saw the first one in Breaking Dawn Part 2. I
Just realized
didn't see any of the others.
So there is actually a
I think having
song.
more
It's like
commentaries
Part 1. Part 1 I meant.
So there is a song from Uncle that is played in one of the Twilight movies. I think it's called "With You in My Head." Features one of my favorite vocalists, Alex Moss.
Okay.
He sings in the Black Angels. But every time I see that song, and there are comments associated with it, they're like, "Oh, I remember this scene with."
Oh
Bella
no!
and
Now you
Jacob,"
can't
and I'm
listen
like,
to it anymore.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah, Deathcap did a song too.
Like,
Yeah.
I hate it when movies get added to a terrible movie, or when songs get
Yeah.
added to a terrible movie.
But
And then-
no, because you can't let other people just tell you.
Oh,
If
I
there
know,
are cringe people that like the same thing you like, then whatever.
I was thinking about using that for a scene where, like, it's an assassination scene in a club, and that song would be playing over the PA as like smoke and lights are flashing everywhere. That scene has been since discarded, of course, but because I've taken a new direction in this story. But
Adam.
Yes.
Yeah, growing up, my mother and my sister would constantly watch the Twilight movies over and over.
Dear
and
Lord.
over.
I managed to avoid it.
I am ashamed to
have
say
I
that
seen
I
any of Robert Pattinson's newer movies? Like Good Time or The Lighthouse.
I love them.
See how he's
Oh,
like expanded
God,
as an
I
actor.
now realize that I haven't seen The Lighthouse or Good Time.
What the?
Get on that.
Oh no.
That's
Those
how
are like
Jacob
his
came
two
to
best
be.
movies, I think.
That's how Jacob came to be, though. He was just constantly
remember
insulted
me,
as a
wait,
dog to the point where he became a werewolf. So
He's the best character in
Wait,
Tenet.
is that actually the lore of Twilight?
yes, no.
He was the best.
He was humiliated.
character in it, but he had no development.
Well, but he's
So,
a side character.
how many girls started abusing their dog after that?
Yeah, I can't wait to like see the Batman.
What was that, Emily?
Robert Pattinson.
Oh my God, the Batman's gonna be awesome.
Hello, welcome.
That's still happening.
Oh man,
welcome, Luke.
Now, but
I'm always seeing.
I'm so excited.
I am constantly seeing articles about shit going wrong with the production of the Batman.
Oh, of course. That's not coming out for a while. They got time. Just saying. Luke just Luke just joined, and I just wanted to let them know that they can jump in with a question if they wanted to.
Okay, awesome.
Well,
Thanks.
to be fair.
Hold up. I'm muting you. I'm sorry. This is Luke's time.
Oh no, I just want to say hey, and yeah, I didn't know this was a thing until recently, even though I've been there. And I just thought that one of the end of your videos it said Patreon, so.
Oh, awesome! Thank you for the support. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Speaking of like the end of your videos, there's some things with like your editors that I'd like to ask you about. In the description it says edited by Heyo Damo, but at the end of the video it says edited by Blue the
That's
Dragon.
true. Well, so
Going on for a month
he
now.
has two different YouTube channels. One that's really furry, one that's not as furry. And then when they were starting to edit my videos, I was like, okay, what did you want to be credited as? And it was the Heyo Damo channel, so I put that in my description, and I just keep copying and pasting from previous videos. And then I guess recently they started putting the URL in the actual video itself, and I guess they forgot to tell me to update the Heyo Damo thing to the Blue the fucking Dragon one, if that's the channel they want to promote. Or maybe they want to promote two at the same time. I don't know. Maybe I should ask them. But I didn't even realize up until now that there were two contradictory links. But it's the same person anyway. They just have two
Yeah, I
different
should
YouTube
definitely
channels.
like explain that.
Are you
because
not
it-
going to
it's
give
kinda
Anna the
confusing.
same special treatment as Luke?
Hello. Well, I was finishing it. Hello, Anna.
Anna Waters.
It's fine.
Hello.
I'm Anna. I'm an animation student from Texas.
Oh, awesome.
Right now I'm in London.
Hello.
So.
Animation.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's awesome.
I'm surprised. I've been studying animation for a long time, and it's only like 4 years in that I realized that pun. So.
That's awesome. I love animation.
Do you have anything about animators?
Hopefully
Yeah,
animators
animation
get
is
treated
like
better
can
in the
express
industry.
things in a way that live action can't.
Yeah, speaking of
I like
animation,
animation
your-
more.
People saw it as a medium.
Yeah, is
Adam,
your
why do you
Wolf
think
Walkers
animation
quickie
is
coming
the
next?
way it
Sorry,
is?
so there's a lot of people talking.
Sorry, Chad, you were
it's
asking
common.
something?
Why do you think the way animators get treated has been this way for so long?
Because they can get away with it. because
or if Anna, if you have any particular thoughts.
I have something to say about that.
Yeah.
Something that like a lot of industry professionals tell you is that like you have to be so passionate about this. Like if you're into art, it's because you could do nothing else. And I think people who work in the animation or just artistic industries in general are expected to work harder because they love what they do, because this is like their passion, right? And they will work 15 hours days like nonstop. And if they don't, it means they're not as passionate as the next person. So
yeah, that's weird. Because like I don't know, when the fact that it is a job, it's not like every animator is making whatever they want with full creative freedom, and it's not like it's their own project. You know, it's like people are animating the fucking Sonic movie. You know?
Speaking of like,
studios are better at crunch than others.
Like, all the animators had to make the creepy version of Sonic before everybody freaked out and told them it looks.
Or there are some studios that are better on it than NPC or
Sonic.
Speaking of animation, is your Wolfwalkers quickie coming next? I'm really interested.
Yeah, it'll be. Well, no, it's not. It'll be my. There's 2 TIFF quickies that I recorded that are not out yet, and then there's 2 after that point that I've yet to record. So it'll be the 3rd out of all of those. It'll be my second last TIFF video.
Speaking of videos, when is your Lion King review coming out in November or December?
Oh, the Lion King video. I would say it's not coming out in November. I would say closer to December. There's been
sweet.
That's when it's out.
Sorry.
Man.
Yeah, exactly. It's like this has been a particularly hard project to work on. And I understand that like over the past, I would say probably month and a half, my productivity on it isn't as high as like what my productivity was working on the Kimba video. Not to say that I'm doing like nothing with my time. It's going into other things like all those festival quickies and commentaries and gaming channel stuff. And I just released my album, etc. But yeah, I mean like.
Plus videos on recent movies.
Sorry?
Plus videos on recent movies like the Ben 10 movie.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm at this point in many other reviews that I've done. Normally, I would crunch really hard and just do like 14-hour days and like just be like, oh, just get it done sort of thing. I think I'm not going to do that this time. There's a pandemic. I haven't left my house in so long, and I'm just like, I don't want to burn myself out. So I wouldn't say I'm doing it casually. I'm still getting it done. I'm just not like, I'm not crunching in the way that I normally would. I'm trying to work on it in a way that's like healthy, is what I'm saying.
Except Adam. Well, except for the few times you went out to movie theaters, drive movie theaters to be exact, to see movies that you have to see.
Yeah, exactly. Like yeah, like I'll be covering other things too, because like the channel has to be active in some way, and if the Lion King thing isn't going to be out, for a bit anyway,
content,
like there has to be other.
Pretty much all the content you make is good. Like you're way more productive than so many other people. And if somebody says like you need to make the Lion King video, they don't understand how hard it is to like make.
And it's going well too. Like I'm really happy with the video.
How long do you think your video is going to be?
It's
been making.
It's going to be over 2 hours long. Right now.
Longer than Kimba.
Well,
I don't know if it's going to be longer than Kimba.
And then it turned to 2 hours and a half.
It's definitely going to be longer than Satan Tango.
Well, there's just so much to talk about, and like it's really like one of the challenges of this review is also just like trying to communicate all this information in a effective way. And I don't feel like I'm wasting any time at all in how I've communicated it, but still it is so long, and it's like I haven't even we're at the hour and 15-minute mark, and I'm just getting to like the just can't wait to be king musical number. That's not to suggest that like there's a consistent like, oh yeah, I was talking about like the first minute of the film within the first like 10 minutes of my review or anything like that, because there's a lot of different tangents I have to go on. Like I have to talk about like the technology used to make the film and like the issues that come with the studio treating it like a live action movie when it's not, and how stupid people are about that. I have to talk about the way music is used and how it like manipulates people's nostalgia. I have to talk about like John's philosophy going into the movie and the character design and how they decided to make everything realistic when it shouldn't be. Why the voice actors for each of these characters is a significantly worse decision. It's aside from like one of them. Every single one of these is like a full conversation, and that doesn't even cover a specific part of the film. Like that's not even talking about, that's like talking about the film overall. And so that's like part of why this is like a challenging review, is because there's just so much to talk about, and even when I do it in the most condensed way possible, it's still an incredibly long video. Like I have to constantly, as I'm going through this, I have to be saying things like, okay, I can't even mention that because it would just not make it like it would just be a waste of time at this point. Like there's certain things that I'm noticing that I'm not mentioning because like I just have to keep things moving along. Anyway.
So as well as the upcoming sequel to it.
Well, it's not a sequel, it's a prequel,
I'm
actually.
not committing to reviewing a movie that's not even out yet.
For the Lion King.
2020 has really been the year of the lion, huh?
For me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, what if they did
Year of the
Lion King
rat.
live action?
Yeah, Adam, did you like the sequel to the original Lion King cartoon?
No, I think it's awful. Yeah,
Have you seen the
I am
spin-off?
not. I might be a furry, but that does not mean that I will automatically like the Lion King too.
I mean, the thing is, I did watch Lion King 2, and I was not impressed with it because it was just another. It's more stuff about hate, and I get so sick and tired of that message being talked about again and again. If you're going to talk about hate, talk about it in a different way, you know.
It doesn't serve any point.
Sequels,
the movie wasn't made to talk about hate. The movie was made to be a sequel with the name Lion King in front of it, right? And so they force in these things and pretend to have a message because that's on the checklist of things that you need to do to technically make a Disney movie. The music is much worse. The animation's much worse. All the characters suck. All the jokes suck. Like everything that they're going for is literally just this embarrassing carbon copy, and you can just see all of these individual scenes where it's like, oh, this scene is trying to emulate this from the first film, and just having that in mind just makes it so much more embarrassing when it's like, ew, this is like your attempt to do that. Ew, it's really bad. I hate it.
The funniest thing about that movie was its box office sales.
Oh,
I think it was direct to video.
It was direct to video.
Yeah.
So box office.
Really? Oh well, never mind.
Yeah, that was the Disney thing for a while. They would make a really successful movie and then direct to video sequel.
Bob
That's why,
Iger
like,
figured
they're being
that
so
out.
great
Well,
collaborations
with
on
the
Netflix
exception-
because they don't have a box office to take account of for making shows on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Alex wants to say something.
Yeah, Alex, you have your hand up. What's up?
Oh yeah, it's bizarre that you're talking about this sequel when it only came out like 4 years after the original Lion King. It's weird to me because it usually takes longer for something to become such a household name that people try to recapture the nostalgia. And it's like 1998.
I mean, that wasn't the point. Wasn't to like cash on the nostalgia. It was to ride the wave of like attention.
It's like the highest grossing animated movie ever.
A sequel doesn't inherently mean that they want people to feel nostalgic about it. A sequel is literally just like, hey, the first one made money. This will have the name of the first one in it. People liked the first one. Maybe they might think that this one will be like the first one, sort of thing. Miguel wants to ask something. What's up?
This is kind of an off-topic question, and you can probably answer it later on. But my aunt executive produced a film. It's called Breaking In, and I was wondering if you've seen the film, and could you tell me what you think of the film if you have seen it?
Breaking In. What is this movie?
It's a film with Gabrielle Union.
Mm-hmm.
And
okay.
I think it came out 2018. Yeah.
Okay, I have not seen it, but I can add it to my watch list. There we go.
Yeah, living in Vancouver, do you see a lot of film stuff happening in the streets?
Oh, like movie making?
My family jumps
occasionally. Yeah, there's been a few times. I don't know where most of the filmmaking happens, but I've definitely seen, in random different locations, things will be blocked off and there'll be a lot of equipment. Yeah, I've got a few friends that work in movie stuff. I've got a friend that does makeup. Just like in the industry, mostly doing like TV show stuff, like Netflix shows. Like I don't even remember which one. Just like not like huge. I don't know. Like there's an industry here for sure. Not everything's going to be like a big thing. Just something that and makes
Adam?
money. What's up?
Well, I have a feeling that when the Robin Pattinson movie Batman came out a few years later, probably by the time it will come out, similar movies would have died out of the mainstream. I mean, the only movie that came out this year that I know was New Mutants, and that lost to Tenet.
Yeah. Well, the box office this year has been affected by COVID.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So there's no
It's like
real
Bad Boys
rules
for Life
at
is
the
the
moment.
highest grossing movie of the year so far.
Well, isn't there like a movie from China?
Bad Boys for Life.
Oh, nice.
Bad Boys for Life. Again, that came out in like literally
Like
the end of
January.
January.
Yeah. And
Sonic is the movie of the year now.
I think it's funny that
Tenet is.
This is
They made like 500
going to be
million.
the start of the decade of like dated sequels and
Oh, yeah.
returns. And
What? That's been
soft
going on forever. What
reboots.
are you talking about?
I'm just saying it's going to ramp up a lot more
I
than
don't know.
it has this
I think
past
they're running
decade.
out.
I don't know.
I think like streaming
People are
services
already
are just
tired.
Watches
like are becoming the new thing for people.
Well, just watch as they bring back Dukes of Hazzard or something.
We don't even know if like theaters are going to recover fully.
Like I said, I am very illiterate with film, so.
Well, but that's what I mean though. Like I've been doing this for like the whole reboots thing. I think that they're going to run out of stuff to do. And I think we're not making
they'll reboot
franchises. Well, they are.
I'm still
but I think we're
surprised
gonna
there's no Back to the Future 4. That's like an obvious thing. I'm surprised.
that was them.
Is still alive and he won't.
The creators put the kibosh on that.
What's up,
Yeah, like
Sean?
the director basically said that
Sean-
he doesn't want a sequel while he's still alive.
Sean, you wanted to say
It's
something?
gonna.
Yeah. I wanted to say I have something cool to share.
Oh yeah.
So I'm currently in post-production on my debut feature film that I made.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Dope.
Yeah, it cost
Yes.
$3,500 to make. It was like 3 weeks of shooting at the end of August, and I've just been doing a lot of editing.
Oh
And
wow.
it's turning out. It's looking like it's gonna go well. I'm gonna submit it to a lot of different film festivals, and hopefully things will go well because I
Awesome,
still
bro.
have to wait for quarantine to be done so I can get people back together for like ADR because of course you need good sound.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's looking really good so far, and I'm really happy about it.
Congratulations.
What's it called?
It's called Envenom, which means like to poison.
It's called Despacito to the Squeakquel.
Is that like Latin or?
Hey, you're coining mine. My squeaky
Yeah,
thing.
Envenom. Yeah, Envenom means like to poison something. Like that's the
Just kidding,
meaning.
I never owned that.
Wait, so did you make it like in film school?
No. So I'm 19. And when I started writing it, I was 18, and it took 7 months to write. And then as that was happening, I was kind of like just doing a lot of rehearsals with people and just like getting things down. And then after that, we shot for 3 weeks. And I wrote, directed in the movie. I'm editing it. I did the cinematography for it. It took a lot of fucking work, but I'm really happy.
course.
Did you crowdfund the
Well,
budget?
No. I used half of my life savings to shoot the movie. I had a lot. I really had to put a lot into it.
Did you say it was $3,500 or $35,000?
Yep, $3,500.
Okay.
$3.5 million.
$3.5 million. Yes.
Hey, congrats though, man. It's cool.
That's
awesome.
It's one
That's
thing
why
to
I
talk
stick-
about it.
That's why I stick to writing. I can't deal with the other stuff.
Yeah.
So Adam,
I learned something about that one thing though about movies is like one of the scenes is like a unbroken like 3 minute long one take.
Oh yeah.
And what I realized is that to shoot a 3 minute long one take, it took 2 entire days to just get it done, and
Of
both
course.
days were 12-hour long days. It
Yeah.
took so much coordination.
Yeah, just like the most of it should be the rehearsal part.
Yeah, I was studying climax a lot. That 42-minute long unbroken one take of kind of just,
Sean is talking
interviews.
about his movie, Miguel. He made a movie.
It should. I'm trying to get it done around like April so that I can submit it to like summer film festivals and fall film festivals. So I'm hoping that goes well.
Congratulations, man. That's a lot of work.
Honestly,
Film Freeway is a good resource for
7 months is
films.
pretty good. The things I've been writing has been taking years, so.
I plan on trying to make my first feature in college, but I don't know how that's gonna work because I feel like I want to go to because there's like some really good film schools in my town, and like a lot of those types of film schools are also like theater type schools or like music type schools. So I think I could like benefit from like getting some actors from that same school, I suppose, and like getting like musicians for like soundtrack stuff.
Yeah, I'm also trying to do feature during college, but
I
have, like, no cash, so I'm thinking like maybe I should make it Dogma 95 style, and then that will make up for the fact that I have no money.
Well, keep in mind movies like Reservoir Dogs. Like you can write a really good movie that's just people in rooms talking.
Yeah.
To that guy, to that guy who's making the movie.
Yeah.
I'm writing kind of. I'm working on a feature here soon too, and I'm doing kind of like a
awesome
neo-noir. So same kind of thing. It's like it's people in dusty rooms talking to each other, looking for things, discovering clues.
Well, my first feature that I'm trying to work on
Sean.
It is a school location. So I hope that comes with.
Sorry, Eli was trying to ask a question to Sean.
Yeah, what's up?
You could just have the people do the ADR separately and then send the audio files to you.
But if they all have different mics, it's gonna sound weird.
And if
it'll be like Hunt Down the Freeman. You don't want to be like Hunt Down the Freeman.
American movie.
Yeah, my sound.
Maybe you get people to get by their own mics. I mean,
my guy that has the sound. My guy that's doing
voice
sound editing.
anyways.
No, yeah, the guy that I'm working with sound editing, and he's also composing the movie. I just got back up. I was up north for like a month, for like a solid 2 weeks, and we were just working on music for the film. But we've essentially taken a room in his house, and we have grabbed, I think it's like 40 pieces of styrofoam to just block off all the sound on the walls.
Well, that works.
And then just creating a lot of barriers so that we can, and then we're trying to just take the mic, of course, and then depending on the shot, moving it around and like having essentially like tape markers on the floor of, depending on how close up the shot is, like to match like where they are, so that it doesn't just all sound like, like Zootopia, where like every single person is like at perfect high audible, even though they're like all the way over there. Like I'm trying to just make it
too, so keep that in mind.
That is true, yeah, because I mean we used a boom mic and everything, and that definitely works well for like reference audio. But I mean, since it's like a small budget movie and like people are like really hard to forgive bad at sound, I'm trying to just do it like the best possible way I can.
No,
because
you're 19, you're doing good, brother.
No, I'm really trying to just
that's right, they're young.
I'm 24 and my dreams have not taken off yet.
Adam.
Yeah.
Adam.
Hey.
What's up?
Adam, let me explain something. Getting back to Twilight, did you know that the guy who played the werewolf in the Twilight movie before the Twilight movie?
Yeah.
Was in that Shark Boy Lava Girl movie?
Yeah.
Yep.
Taylor Lautner.
Yeah, that was wild.
His little boy.
In his shark leotard.
Yeah, apparently he was like still underage while he was like in some of the Twilight ones. That's what somebody said on the subreddit. I didn't verify this for myself, but somebody was like, they like sexualized him and made him shirtless when he wasn't even 18 yet. So I don't know if that's true, but that's what somebody was complaining about earlier.
Well, it's kind of ironic because his character turned into a pedophile by the end of the movie.
He's 16 in the movie and he's shirtless and they're sexualizing him. Like
Yeah.
the character's 16.
Oh, the character's 16 even.
I feel like that's been a thing forever.
Real 13 reasons why
like
moment.
Clueless. Wasn't Homegirl like 16 and Clueless?
I mean, the people reading the books were 16, so.
Yeah, true.
This
and
is
wine
true.
moms. Lots of wine moms.
Actually,
yeah, if you look at when he was born, he should have also been 16 when Twilight was released, something like that.
So he was probably like 15 when he was shooting it.
Yeah.
Oh, and Adam?
Adam,
even though the summer movie blockbuster season was kind of bare, I think the only summer movie that came out this summer that felt like a blockbuster was the Bill and Ted movie.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, like, it wasn't super high budget or anything. It could have been in theaters easily, but they just decided not to. because COVID.
It was supposed to be.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
it was the right decision.
It was half in theaters, half online.
Yeah,
half
limited
theater, half
limited
online.
release.
Which is basically like basically the movie so far during the later half of the pandemic thing, Machigi.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it made sense for them to do it online. Also, I like the idea of testing to see if it's actually viable to just release movies online or do both at the same time. Because I would like the option to just watch something from home anyway. I love theaters. I want them to stay alive and survive the pandemic.
Yeah, it'd be cool if there's like some.
But yeah, I would like to have the option.
Theaters.
Because I don't know, like it's not like
especially drive-in theaters. Theaters.
Yeah, the drive-in was an interesting experience. I'm not a person that like buys concession at a movie anyway, so they should probably fill their seats up with somebody else.
You know, I was remembering a while back we were talking about some porno drive-in theater, and I had to make the joke of I saw and I came.
Oh.
Huh.
So I wanted to.
Yeah, it's really clever. A nice.
This discussion on Twilight reminded me of the Tim Burton movie Dark Shadows, and just the more stuff I hear about Twilight, the more I realize that Twilight is. Well, I haven't seen any of the movies. I have
that
seen,
movie.
Like, your commentary and the Cosmonaut 30-hour videos on them, and I realized Dark Shadows is way worse. Like Twilight has an audience, Dark Shadows has no audience.
Yeah.
If you want a movie that's just like painfully atrocious, Dark Shadows by Tim Burton is it.
Yeah, don't watch it.
I don't think I ever will. I don't have any reason to.
Dark Shadows
Twilight was bad and made that much money.
Yeah.
I was wondering if I could ask.
Yeah, because it had no audience. Who the fuck was it for? Nobody.
Edgy 13-year-old. Come on,
I think you mean Shadow.
Yeah. They really do.
It was kind of jumping on a trend too. There was like a lot of vampire movie stuff around that time.
But no,
True Blood.
Johnny Depp. It's based on a TV show from the 70s, and it's part of a trilogy where Johnny Depp wanted to like
Dark Shadows?
Play characters he liked in his childhood. It was Dark Shadows,
feels like
The
that.
Lone Ranger, and Mordecai, all of which were critical and box office failures.
I honestly
don't forget Alice in Wonderland.
I honestly
no, that's not part of it. That's not part of it.
It wasn't really him. That was more.
It's not part of the trilogy.
Hey, Adam, what do you think about Johnny Depp as a whole?
Yeah.
He's a talented actor.
Yeah.
He was.
His Black Mask came out.
I loved him in
I loved
Fear
it.
and Loathing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
like he had a lot of like I don't know. He's kind of like Nick Cage in a way where he just like takes a bunch of shitty roles, but that doesn't mean he's not talented.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's a good character actor. I think that like his performance in Pirates is really good too.
That's
true. Adam.
Yeah, what's up?
Well, to be fair, Nick Cage is probably a much better person than an actor because at least Nick Cage doesn't abuse women, unlike Johnny Depp.
I think that's a little disputed.
Alleged. And let's not.
But let's
Can we not?
we don't have to turn this conversation into that though.
I know.
Definitely the tea is scalding.
I
think
was
Miguel
going
has
to-
something.
Yeah, Miguel's been raising his hand for a while.
Okay,
Let's ask Miguel.
I'll say it after.
I have two questions. One's directed towards Sean because I think I heard him say that he's working on a feature. Is that correct, Sean? And
Yep, I shot it already, and now we're in post-production.
Oh, you're actually doing a full-on feature?
It's 95 minutes long. It has 39 scenes. Cost $3,500. Yeah,
$3,500.
It's all the way there.
Well, hey man, I personally don't know you, but I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wait. Miguel said he had two questions. I think it was
And I have
another
one
part of that.
directed toward Adam. So I'm trying to do a full-length feature myself, and I don't have a lot of time to go towards like having a bigger budget. So I've worked at like Amazon trying to get like a $2,000, $3,000 to do this feature film, and I don't want to like spend a year doing an actual script. So I was thinking of having the entire thing, doing it as an improvised film. So like the entire thing have improvised dialogue, and just have a basis of what I want each scene to be. Do you think that could be done well? And do you see any bad things that could come from that, from not actually having an actual script?
It depends how you improvise it. It depends what the goals of the scene are, because like regardless of whether or not the dialogue within a scene is improvised, typically, even in improvised movies, there's still an understanding of how to get from point A to point B. So, like, if you have actors in a scene that are improvising a scene, generally there's still an understanding of, like, here's what needs to happen at the beginning of the scene, here's what needs to happen at the end of it, and there is some plot still going forward. Not to say that you can't make a movie that's entirely improvised, but generally even improvised movies still have a structure. So yeah, I mean, like, that, whatever speaks to you, if it's you, then do it. That would be the most important part. Like, if you don't want something that feels too written and you want something that's a bit more natural, then you can improvise it. But you'd also have to, I would say the biggest thing to do would be, like, make sure you have a firm understanding and, like, rehearsals of what's going to happen before you film it. Even if you're improvising, you should still have whoever you're going to use in a scene and figure out what they're like when they're improvising and how well it works before like trying it. Otherwise you might just, you know, be on set and just, like, nothing's working and having to redo everything, you know?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of doing.
Mhm.
Yeah. Got
Adam.
I'll be able to.
Wait,
make
I
it.
want to
Augie, what's up?
I wanted to ask Anna a question. If you publish your art, your animations publicly in some way?
Yeah, I have a website that's like my portfolio, and then I'm on Twitter and Instagram and all
Got that
that.
link, son.
But that's about it. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, I was wondering, Anna, what kind of programs do you use?
So I'm mainly a 3D animator, but I've just started learning 2D animation. 3D Maya is like industry standard,
Yeah.
and then 2D is either
Yeah, I use
Toon Boom, yeah, Maya, and then Toon Boom for the Americans, and then Europeans really like TV Paint.
Yeah,
I thought it would have been Flash.
I use Maya for a 3D film I made. So.
Okay, awesome.
I actually used to work with Maya.
It just takes practice for you to get used to how you do things, and like you have to learn other programs like ZBrush and just various other 3D programs to you know, make something, you know, cool out of it. So.
I've been like also like working on like not like writing something. I don't know if it's like actually gonna be an animation, but I think it just like worked best as something that was animated. So that's why I've been trying to like look for and like practice and like workers and stuff like that.
That's one of the
Everything
best
takes practice.
forever.
It's all practice. It's just
I'm
all
sure
practice
Anna,
before you get good. It's practice.
I'm sure Anna could say the same thing, but yeah, just draw every day or something like that.
Yeah, do that every day. Like,
Yeah,
do art every day.
That's why I'm
One
not
of the
confident
things-
I'll ever be great at like drawing or anything, is because I'm spending my time doing other
So,
things. It's not something
one
I
of the
can-
things I typically
I would have to like actually develop it.
One of the things I
Yeah.
actually like to do when I do drawings is warm ups. So hold on, let me pull them up real quickly. Is, you know, draw quick characters, no erasing, and you'll probably get some horrifying results if I can just save my current project.
And then you can figure out what it looks like and how to improve it.
Yeah, and also like
right?
just be rough and loose with your drawings also, and then you can always build things on top of that.
Jordan's
Yeah,
just showing us
so-
something here, Eli. We'll
If I
get to
can
you
even
after.
find it.
I've been doing a
Yeah.
drawing this whole time.
So
I mean,
it's
you can-
stupid shit like this. So
Oh, is that a crab? Oh, is that a
This is the
dragon?
dumbest thing I do.
Nice.
Good job drawing.
And then, you know, eventually work your way to something like this.
Mhm.
If
Have you
you're
looked at
focused.
like any like, are you just doing it all like instinctively, or are you doing it in like kind of a, like, I don't know, like, because there's like guides on
Stream
like
of
I've never done
consciousness.
the actual like reference like circle perspective thing, and then like, you know, I don't know.
It helps.
It helps leading up to drawing stuff like for say again, if it would open to stuff like this.
Oh, cool. That's better.
Yeah,
It
this one
helps
was
with,
fun.
It helps a lot with muscle memory, so that later you don't have to
Yeah.
do it because you just kind of get how those
Mhm.
shapes, you know. It helps.
Yeah, it's all about
it's muscle memory.
It's all about muscle memory.
Yeah, I think
like,
most things
you
are.
just-
And to add to that, like one of the best things you can do for drawing is practice life drawing, especially figures. And for animation, you want to do it quick. So like 2-minute poses and then just quick, we call them gesture drawings. There's lots of tips out there. But yeah.
Would you say that it's better to do life drawing from an actual person in the same room, or would you get the same result from like an image on a computer?
Okay, so this is funny because this is like a transition that's happened now because we're all online schooling now.
Yeah.
But when I was in my fine arts high school, the teachers who were very very purist about art were like, don't reference 2D because it's already made it to 2D for you. Reference real life because it's 3D and it's the best way to train your eyes. But now, like, we have life drawing classes on Zoom, so
just get a VR headset.
Something is better than nothing.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Speaking of VR, I actually recently just got an Oculus Rift S, and I've realized how unequipped I am because like. The Oculus headset will occasionally just shut off, and I have to restart my PC. It's like
Luke has had their hand up for a bit.
Oh, Luke, go ahead.
I'll get to you right after Eli. Sorry.
Okay, so I was just gonna ask you, how happy are you with Parasite's success? As I'm an accounting student who has more of a, I guess, my friends are more frat-like and probably would never watch a foreign language or indie film, but I have got them all to love Parasite.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like one of the most accessible foreign language films ever.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm happy about it. South Korea has had like an explosion in their film industry over the past like 20 years. They've gotten like really mainstream at this point. Well, I guess like officially mainstream as of this year's Oscars. So yeah, I'm glad they got recognition. It's weird that it was like literally the first foreign language film to win Best Picture if you don't count the artist, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm actually showing Parasite to a bunch of people in my school because they don't really like do a bunch. They don't really like. I don't know how to say this, but they're not like film people, I guess, and like I don't think they're like really used to like having to read every line.
Yeah,
like,
and I think like to people that are I guess like apprehensive to check out like something that's subtitled or foreign language, as much as the Oscars sucks, it does give a little bit of legitimacy to people that might not want to check it out otherwise. Like, because if you just say like some random foreign film, they might just be like, what, why? But if you say, like, it won Best Picture, then they might be
Trump
like, oh,
maybe
I should check
it out.
out.
Why did a foreign language movie have to win Best Picture? Why can't
Why didn't Gone with the Wind win?
Let's move on from that.
Yeah, Eli, what did you want to... What did you want to say, Eli?
Well, before I say my thing, I just want to say that I think next year's Oscars might end up still being long, based off the death tributes, especially since we lost a lot of celebrities based around the movie, based around the entertainment industry, mainly in movies. I mean, recently we lost Sean Connery, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Of James Bond thing.
I don't know if there's been higher than average celebrity deaths, maybe slightly.
But
I guess if they postpone the Oscars, it's inevitable anyway. They're postponing it by like 2 months, so that'll be 2 more months of celebrity deaths.
Well, it'll still be it'll probably end up being the longest Oscars, anyways.
I don't know if that's the case.
Based on the death tribute, anyways.
But that's
all right. Adam, have you seen the Dark Tower TV show that was based on the movie I talked about earlier?
Did you say Dark Tower TV show?
No, Dark Shadows TV
Dark
show.
Shadow. Oh no, I haven't seen any Dark Shadows. I don't want to.
You might want to check it out. It's like a soap opera with vampires.
What year is the TV show? 1966.
1974, something like that.
I see it. Yeah, I see it. 1966. 1,200 episodes. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, it is a soap opera.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's
okay.
my exact
yeah, this does not. I'm not sure I would want to watch it. Seems like a bit of a commitment.
Anyway, it's got me going now.
All right. Thank you for joining.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Whatever it is you're doing.
Bye.
Bye. There he goes.
I was actually going to mention something, and I
Mhm.
kind of wanted to get everyone's opinion on it. So I'm trying to think of something for a psychological horror, and it's going to be titled "The Derelict," and it's about
The
a search and
derelict
rescue.
what?
Just the derelict.
Okay.
It's
Is it based on that one multiplayer level in Halo 1?
It is sci-fi, but no,
Is
actually,
it based on the joke from Zoolander?
Derelict.
What? Oh,
Yeah.
But anyway, so it's set on it's set in a different holy shit, I can't speak. It's
That's
set in
fine.
a different timeline, maybe far ahead in the future, of course. And it's about a planet with an outpost that goes silent all of a sudden. Search and rescue guy goes and checks it out, but his ship somehow like malfunctions or sinks into the earth or something like that. And so he's trapped there for 3 months until like search and rescue can come for him. But like it's going to be like implied that is there a monster, is there not? Is it
Okay.
this hallucination?
More interpretable.
Also,
Okay.
no soundtrack to encapsulate the silence of space.
Okay,
and
well,
the silence
let's.
of the
Okay, well, so because you were saying you're sticking to writing, but then you start bringing in things like no soundtrack. How much control do you think you're reasonably going to have over a project?
Something
Do you
that
think
sets the
you
tone of
could
the
sell a
story.
script and keep the no soundtrack part? I think that's wishful thinking, not to bring you down.
Is it really not going to work that way?
Well, no, I
guess
mean,
would
like,
like to
because
keep
once you
control
sell
of
it, the way it depends how you're doing it, really. If you have like, if
Depends
you
on who you are
manage to
also.
like become best friends with like a really great director and you're just like pals and you work together
Mhm.
all the time, that's awesome. But if you're selling your script in
Oh, yeah.
Hollywood, that script is
No,
no
we don't
longer
want
your
that.
script. Basically, it's going to get turned into
Definitely not
whatever
a
the fuck
Hollywood
someone's going to
script.
turn it into.
Yeah.
As evidenced
Yeah,
by
I guess-
Charlie Kaufman's Chaos Walking, right?
Well, I think that was just
So,
a paycheck.
here's the thing.
That was just a paycheck for him.
I'm so hyped.
Definitely want to keep control of my stuff. Maybe if I did find some directors
Yeah.
and what have you.
Yeah, that's just
That's the key right there.
It's an unfortunate reality of like the industry is like if you sell a script that's like it's like not really your script anymore. The best you can
Actually,
do is like
unless you're a
work
name
with
brand.
work with a director that like you see eye to eye on, right?
A24, help me.
Yeah.
Netflix.
They'll still do it.
Oh yeah, A24.
They'll still make it how they want. I'm just saying, like,
Oh.
if you're a Quentin Tarantino or something, then yeah, they won't ask questions. But that's the thing. Until then, like, yeah, it's just spec scripts.
Yeah, there's no like
Mm.
I don't think even that there's like a Quentin Tarantino of specifically writers that a studio would be like, "Oh yeah, let's not let the director or any producers or us like change the script because we trust the script so much." Because like even if a movie is successful, even if it's like a writer that has hit after hit after hit, they're not going to attribute the success of those films to the writer anyway.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So
no.
like they're never
No,
going
I
to
think
give
you're-
that leeway and freedom to a writer alone.
Yeah, Aaron
I'd still,
Sorkin's
of
one
course,
the
want the
famous writer-only
royalties.
type of guys.
Sorry.
So
Jordan.
Yeah, go
the
ahead.
one thing I will say is just like if you like the biggest thing, like since it's gonna like since you're writing it and it's gonna be just like, of course I'm guessing like just like very isolated. I feel like you should definitely try to focus on making the main character like have a lot of personality, because
Yeah.
that's something that a lot of people just end up kind of forgetting doing. Like I'm guilty of that before in like old shitty short films I've done. So it's just really best to like have a character that people like really want to be watching.
Oh yes, of course. And that's the idea. Is while I'm gonna say there's not gonna be a whole lot of dialogue unless if it's like personal logs and stuff like that. It's gonna be a lot of him just like fixing stuff around the station.
What's sorry, Chad, you had your hand up? Was that
Yeah, actually, speaking of that put me on the line. The next video I'm making, I'm actually talking about a character concept that I want to get just short feedback on the idea of you from. So what I was thinking about was it's your protagonist could be a good guy or a bad guy, right? And so if you have the good guy protagonist, I feel like the common thing for us to do, which makes sense, is that the character has an arc and they are a dynamic character who changes over time. By the end of the story, they're a different guy than they were in the beginning of the story, and that's why they succeed. I think when you have a villain, so what my kind of thesis is that when you have a villain character, think about Lou Bloom from Nightcrawler. Mark Zuckerberg from The Social Network,
sure,
and Daniel Day-Lewis, Daniel Plainview in There Will Be Blood. I feel like with all three of those characters, what they do instead of them changing, that character never changes, but our understanding of the character deepens over those same story acts. So by Act 3, we've just learned who he really always was. And in the beginning, we just didn't know anything about the guy.
Yeah. Thanos.
So yeah, it's us changing rather than them changing. Lou Bloom is just as bad in Act 3 as he was in Act 1, but we don't know anything about him.
Sure.
So you kind of get this.
That does make me think, like, should certain characters be not necessarily fleshed out, but should they be explored? And I don't know.
I see those as being like the same pretty much. Like fleshing out a character is like, giving the audience a better understanding of the character.
Yeah, I guess what I mean is like for, certain antagonists in the show or whatever.
It could be interesting to do something where, the goal of the film basically would be to show like a loss of innocence of a character, show like someone who starts out as like a well-intentioned and then
that would be
I want to do two opposite characters in the story. I'm still working that out, but I want to have basically where your antagonist and your protagonist flip, and so you're getting both of those. You're getting the villain character who softens and starts to understand the complexities of the world, and then on the flip side having a hero who has something so bad happen to him, possibly from the villain, that it actually turns him hard, and then they end up...
I like that in concept.
Twisted
that might be difficult to pull off.
Guy and the Dark Knight.
I
agree, because you need like an anchor, and I think it can be hard because if you end up losing everybody,
I think it might just be like considered really challenging as like a watch for like
I think like maybe a mini series could be a way to do it.
Yeah, perhaps.
Are there any movies?
I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm sure there's ways to do it.
Yeah.
Are there any movies that are like about the like pre-World War II Germany at all? Like you see the rise of Hitler or something like that?
Kind of.
I don't know.
Yeah. You could argue that The White Ribbon is that movie.
Really? So you actually see like Hitler before he became an asshole?
No, it's not that literal. It's more The White Ribbon is about basically just showing like the conditions and like the especially social conditions and attitudes that led to that sort of susceptibility without being explicit about it. Like it doesn't really talk about,
of course,
like Hitler or anything like
that.
Yeah, actually,
because the Will is a good one for that.
It's pre-World War One.
Here's the
World War
II. Oh, was that World War One? Whatever.
So here's the deal.
Yeah, they talked about Archduke Franz Ferdinand being shot at sea.
Okay. Yeah, I'm terrible at history. I'm like, Germany did some shit.
So my step-grandmother, she has told us, like, there was a point, and it's going to sound horrible to say, but there was a point where Hitler was actually a good guy, like he did some wonderful things for Germany, and then
like a painter.
Then all of a sudden,
those can also exist at the same time.
Yeah,
I mean, there was a time where
exactly. I don't believe that evil is a true thing on this plane. It's just people do shitty things, and even shittier things beyond that.
Yeah.
And
even Ted Bundy.
Well, I mean, he was promising Germany that they'll get out of like the debt that they had to pay for World War One, and that's how.
There's also a reality where if Hitler had won and like the Nazis took over the whole world, like history books would probably talk about what a great conqueror he was.
There's a bunch of shows about that.
Well, there's been many alternate reality books on that.
Well, I mean, I live in America.
Alternate history.
We've controlled the narrative for all the wars.
The High Castle show.
Man in the High Castle was great up until season 3. So
I haven't seen it. I just know it's based from the book turned to show.
Have you seen it, Adam? The Man in the High Castle?
No, I have not.
Well, I would recommend it up until season 2. Season 3 and season 4. Season 4.
Adam, do you watch a lot of shows?
No, not really.
Sci-fi
I didn't think so.
I
spend most of my time watching movie stuff.
Have you watched Peaky Blinders at all?
No, I've heard it's great though. I've got like a huge backlog
watching...
of things that I need to check out.
I feel it. If you ever want to geek, you don't have to watch the whole thing, but if you ever geek out on, if you want to geek out on like cinematography on a TV show, I think that's a great one for that.
I've been
Peaky
planning on.
Blinders was weird. When I saw
It's
it.
my all-time favorite show.
Seinfeld? You know,
Is
just
it?
kind of a random
Oh, yeah.
question since we're talking about TV shows. Have you ever seen Seinfeld?
I've seen enough of it. Yeah. I've seen like.
Kind of watch.
I feel like I've watched 4 episodes of it, but I know that's not possible because every time I like watch an episode of it, just like incidentally, or like a friend put a thing on, or there's a clip on
You'll
YouTube or
recognize
something.
it.
Anytime I see one of those, I know I've seen it before, and that's happened like 20 times. But it feels like I've only watched 4 episodes because all the episodes just blend into each other, and it's
I
like
feel
it's
exactly
really
like that with
repetitive.
Friends. I always assume.
Yeah, that's my biggest complaint with it. Some of it's kind of funny, but
It's just
yeah.
old though. Like you have to compare it to what it was going against back
Yeah,
then.
the humor is very dated.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. It's
more on the
it's
lines
a
of
part
show
of its
about how
time for sure, but I just like it's not a I'm not a huge fan of that kind of format, I guess.
And that is
and
very
I
understandable.
think that The Office
Especially
and
with,
Parks and
like,
Rec
the
help break us
stand-up
out of that
stuff.
format.
Especially with like the stand-up stuff in the beginning, that gets really repetitive. I'm like, okay, yes, you're trying to be relatable. You're making these relatable life jokes.
Well, that's more of a complaint about Seinfeld himself. That was just his
Yeah.
style.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of comedians, I'm surprised that Jeff Dunham is still around.
I'm not. He has a very specific niche audience that will stick with him.
I mean, isn't Randy
I didn't
Feldface,
know
like,
he was
way
still
better?
around.
Yeah.
I guess that is
There's a lot of
subjective,
things that are
but-
still around that you wouldn't expect to be what
Hanson
they are.
is still around.
I mean, I'm
Fucking
like,
Arthur's still around.
Arthur's still around.
Arthur,
America's
yeah,
Funniest
everyone
Home
got mad at
Videos is still around.
Wow.
Which,
Bob
like, how
Saget.
did YouTube not destroy that instantly?
Oh yeah, did you hear about?
Yeah,
like, the
I mean,
Jeopardy guy
Like Tosh.0
passing
is just
away?
watching YouTube videos and reacting to them.
Exactly.
Did you hear about like the Jeopardy guy passing away?
Alex Trebek,
Like,
yes, I heard. Yeah. I think-
National treasure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sad.
I was wondering, so the gay rat episode of Arthur, what do you think of that?
What about it?
The teacher got
Yeah, that's what you
married or
thought about it.
something.
Oh no,
even,
Boards of
like,
There was a
Cinema.
gay wedding.
That was
Yeah.
such a weird way to describe that.
But that's what it is. That's what it is, though.
I mean,
What's the
it's
question,
just
though?
a-
Sorry.
Just a regular gay wedding.
Hold on.
Like,
Miguel's trying to ask the whole
Okay.
question.
I was wondering, as a gay man, what do you think of the episode, and do you think they portrayed, being
Oh, I didn't actually watch the episode. I might have actually watched like a clip of it, but all I knew about it, the reason why I mentioned it on the podcast was because it was in the news cycle because other, conservative Christians in the States were complaining about it because it was like you can't show same-sex marriage for kids show.
Oh, gosh.
You can only
You know,
show
actually-
straight people marriage. And
Adam, I
even
have
though
a
it's like
similar-
they're already rats, I don't know, but like
No, I am.
I have a similar
the-
beef with you with product placement with representation. I think that it has a lot to do with, is it happening naturally or are you trying to hunt for
yeah,
best
but that's the thing is like it's automatically a statement whether intentionally or not, and so
That's true.
it's part of it's like kind of a unwinnable game in some ways,
Yeah,
That's
well, you can't win everybody, but I guess for me personally is that, I was talking about how Ghostbusters 2016 feels like it has such a strong agenda versus if you watch Annihilation, where
of
it's
course.
still about 4 scientist women.
Oh
who are
gosh,
taking care of
Annihilation.
Well,
people, and it
because
doesn't have
a
this
lot of these
horrible,
movies are literally just made by companies, right?
Yeah.
It's like
And
a
that's-
factory deciding what will sell at any given moment in time.
Well, and
So-
Elizabeth Banks herself was talking
And that's
about
that's the thing about
Charlie's
the
Angels too.
boys.
Yeah.
That's the thing that the boys really pushes well, and that's the whole Queen Maeve thing, because it's a part of her character, and when it's on screen, it just feels forced. Well, not on screen.
Girls get it done, man.
Yeah.
No, I know what you mean,
it's
like when they're getting interviewed.
Yeah, exactly. It feels as forced as it does in the media.
But I agree with
today, and
Adam,
I
though.
think
Things
that's-
weren't done with as much nuance in season 2 as they were in 1. I just think
No.
there were
Yeah.
some character moments I liked a lot.
Yeah, I don't know,
that's the
because it's
thing.
like it's how many for something like Arthur to have a gay wedding. I don't know. You can interpret it in whatever way you want. You can interpret it as them wanting to get media attention because nobody's watching their show or something. I don't know. You could interpret it as like, yeah. So like, what if I were to imagine like the writers of like a children's show? I don't think they're secretly trying to indoctrinate children. I think that they're being like, oh, this would be a nice thing, so that like
this will sell to the demographics.
No, it might not even be about like a money thing, you know? Like you could don't assume bad intentions when there's it's up for debate whether or not it could be, you know? Always assume ignorance over malice, but even in this case it's just like, I don't know, is ignorance even the right word? You can just say that they wanted to show something where it's like they're probably like, okay, well we've probably shown like a straight wedding on this show before. Like, why not? Like, what's wrong with that? You know? So
that's what I wanted to bring up. Is I feel like for each
they don't
person
even
individually, you can feel sometimes when certain products are coming to you in a place that feels a lot less genuine.
Yeah, but the thing is like with something like Ghostbusters 26, I don't even remember the year, something like that, or Charlie's Angels.
Yeah, it was 16.
It's not just the political agenda that feels forced, it's the entire movie, right?
Yeah,
so
that's
like
totally fair.
It's literally Hollywood has been making forced bullshit every year, but it really seems to like become a part of, I guess, especially online culture debate when it has to do with any kind of like, I guess, representation or culture war or whatever you want to call it, right?
And they hate the feeling that that's being done, not from an honest place.
I'm
Like
I'm
that Pepsi
more
commercial
offended
with
at
Kendall
like
Jenner.
movies just being made that feel forced regardless. You know?
Well, and
have
that's
you seen
another
like
thing.
the Black Christmas 2019? It's supposed to be some like really terrible horror movie. Even Chris Stuckman gave it an F, but they
It's really, really, really bad.
Yeah, I heard it was terrible.
Review of that is hilarious.
Dumbest thing ever.
And that's the thing is I've been when I write, characters.
Show you what the ending
with when I write homosexual characters, that's just something I write a part of their character, not a part of the story. That's I feel something that you have to do. You don't have to say
you don't have to think that should be a part of unless somebody's character, somebody's sexuality has no bearing on their personality. It shouldn't even be a thing that matters unless
it's
you're,
not a determining
tackling
factor.
the difficulties of being gay in an oppressive society or something like that. If it's just a gay couple, then it shouldn't even have that much fanfare. Just have them be a couple.
Yeah, like Call Me by Your Name.
So what would there not to be,
for example,
not to be like pandering toward people, but what do you
Sure.
think is like a good representation of gay people in media?
Shira. Not Riverdale.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. The more genuine the film in the first place, the chances are the more genuine its characters are going to be, and
that's a
you
good
know,
point, yeah.
by
I'm
extension,
ashamed I
if there's a
didn't
gay
watch that
character in that, then those gay characters will be more genuine. I thought that like Andrew Haig's, however you pronounce his name, his movie Weekend from 2011, like that was a really good, like gay romance kind of couple movie. It was kind of like it was like a lot of conversation. It kind of felt like the Linklater Before trilogy movies, not as like well shot or anything, but like it felt like genuine in that way.
Yeah, I just sent
How
you a
about,
text that was like talking about the ending of like Black Christmas 2019. I didn't want to say it because spoilers, but
Sure.
it's really stupid.
I'd
I heard
imagine,
Chris
yeah.
Stuckman talking about it, and it was just so awful.
Mhm.
It's just
Yeah.
so dumb.
I don't
So
know
it's
if I'll
not
ever
even-
watch it.
So Black
Yeah.
Christmas is not worth drinking and making fun of, right?
It's just
I don't
painful.
know. I haven't seen it. I saw Chris Stuckman's review of it.
I've seen it. It's
Pretty
really,
funny.
really bad. They announced the movie in June and it was ready by December. They rushed the
Wow.
production
Really?
so quickly. Yeah, they literally they wrote, shot, filmed the movie, did all the post production in essentially like 6 months, and you can really tell.
Yeah, it's a
have you
previously
guys
existing
seen-
IP, so
It's like the
Yeah.
second Black
sucks.
Christmas remake. There's like another one in 2006 that
yeah, it wasn't that
also
long
you
ago.
guys-
sucks.
It isn't good, but it's not like terrible.
So
Have you
wait,
guys seen the OG Black Christmas? And if so, like, what do you think?
Yeah,
It's on my
great.
watch
Yeah,
list. I
it's
haven't.
It's okay.
I haven't
So
seen it,
it's
but
okay.
I'm not a
apparently
fan of it, honestly.
I guess I should ask this. What is a brief synopsis of Black Christmas?
It's a slasher movie.
basically-
IMDb.
It's about like these a bunch of girls in a sorority house, and they're killed off by a killer.
Yeah, it's a slasher movie.
It's a basic slasher, but I think it's good.
Didn't the slasher movies die like the 80s?
No,
not really.
It's a 70s movie. Like the original.
Yeah, the original is a 70s movie anyway.
Yeah, you're talking about
like
The
it's just kind
Giver.
of a fad that just kind of died away anyway. It seems.
Yeah, now people are watching better horror movies, I would say.
Well, I mean, I like horror that makes me feel uncomfortable. And
Hey,
I wonder if there's anything.
Yeah, The Witch was like a great horror movie that made me feel uncomfortable.
horror that makes me feel uncomfortable.
A24 is just releasing all the good horror movies right now.
Yeah,
Adam,
I can't wait for The Green Knight. That looks awesome.
I just learned that Hereditary was filmed in Utah, which is pretty cool.
Great.
I'm curious.
Someone's trying to ask a question. Hold up.
Yeah.
Who was trying to ask a question?
I was curious about what in the Midsummer director's cut improved it enough for you to change your rating to an 8.
Yeah, well, because it focused a lot more on like the relationship and the characters and like the things that I liked about the first one. I got more of. It flowed better. I felt it was like it didn't feel as long somehow, despite it being longer. It didn't feel as long as the first one, which I guess typically happens on a second watch anyway for a movie that you're already kind of familiar with, like the beats and the pacing. But yeah, it was. The director's cut worked a lot better. It was more of a full product that made sense. It was just the pacing made a lot more sense.
All right, cool. One of the things I heard you complain about in your review were that like the payoffs to what they set up weren't very satisfying.
I still stand by saying that it's not really a horror movie to me. I don't think that the horror elements are the standout elements of the movie. It doesn't scare me, but I love it as like a character drama.
Was the ending more satisfying?
Yeah, it was, because I wasn't expecting it to wow me or scare me or anything. And I feel like that's also like, the improvement of the rating is also just like a better understanding of what it's going for. And yeah, I wouldn't call it like as much. It is a horror movie for sure, but that's not what it is to me anyway. And I don't think that, even to Ari Aster, whatever he wants to classify it as doesn't really matter, but I feel like this time I got the intended experience of what it was going for emotionally, I guess.
Yeah.
So I guess,
I heard you complaining about was that, its influences were too obvious, like, it was clearly drawing influences from like The Wicker Man.
No, yeah, I still like don't. I mean, yeah, I wish Ari Aster made movies that didn't remind me of older movies that he clearly took inspiration from, but we'll see what he does. Like, he's only made like 2 feature-length films,
Only
right?
2 movies. That's impressive. I mean, 2 movies.
Yeah, and they're pretty great for what they are. And even though they draw a lot of inspiration from older things like Wicker Man, Rosemary's Baby, Don't Look Now, etc., and you can literally see like scene by scene, like that was in that, even though that happens, it's still much better shot than all of those that I mentioned, except maybe Rosemary's Baby. It's still like really well made technically. So like I would watch. I've already seen Midsummer for a second time. So the director's cut and the theatrical. I don't think I'm ever gonna watch The Wicker Man again. I'm probably never gonna watch Don't Look Now again. So like if he's still doing a great job at making them his own things and doing some things that are better, I still wish that I could watch a movie of his without thinking about another older movie that exists.
He has another movie that he's making right now,
remake
actually.
with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, that was bad.
I gotta ask, because it's in our little personal chat here, but what happened to Max Landis?
That was a while ago.
Canceled a little while ago.
Yeah.
I guess he's still.
He's still making allegations,
it was he was part of the Me Too.
I actually know somebody who.
So Adam,
what's up?
What do you think of American.
I have to get
Werewolf
going now, but I just wanted to ask you one last question.
Sure.
I want to know your like further thoughts on Angst.
Oh, I mean, the music was great. I can definitely see why Gaspar Noé loves it so much. Yeah, it was a fun, sometimes goofy at points, but like fun, tense, disturbing, like kind of unique way of making a movie like that. It was like the house that Jack built almost, except like good. I mean, very different goals, I guess, but like in terms of like the narration of a serial killer sort of thing, you know, I could definitely see that House that Jack built was inspired by that in some ways. I would assume. It's called Angst from 1982, I think.
I thought it was like really
83.
Yeah, it was.
anxiety-inducing.
It was fun. I enjoyed it a lot. It's not perfect. There are some things that are weird about it. Yeah, I mean, like it's disturbing in successful ways that it tries to be. So.
Yeah, the camera work was really impressive.
Yeah, it was creative. It was
I wanted
well
to
shot.
ask you, 'cause I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, because this is kind of something I noticed, is that so one day, the first day that he gets out of prison, he meets the people in the restaurant. But
Yeah.
the second day, he meets the same people with the same clothes on. And I wasn't, was that
I guess
supposed to be a
that's like
mistake?
interpretable, but
Yeah, that's what I thought, but I was like confused.
I don't know. Maybe he's fucking crazy.
I just want to say
I don't think that's out of the question.
Narrator.
Yeah.
I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah. Thank you for joining.
But yeah,
You have
no
a good
problem.
one.
Thanks for having me.
Miguel was trying to ask something before everybody, so we'll go back to Miguel.
Yeah, I was wondering, what do you think about Max Landis trying to remake his dad's film, American Werewolf in London? Do you think that will be done well? Or
Nope.
I didn't even know that was happening.
Yeah, it's coming out, I think, in 2022, and he's trying to, but it's kind of caused complications.
As writer or just writer?
No, I've heard he's going to be both.
And directing. Oh, and his dad's writing with him.
Yes.
Very
John Landis
interesting.
is still alive?
I guess so, yeah.
Okay.
I have not seen the first one, so I can't really comment on.
Have you seen American Ultra?
Got really good practical effects. No
Yeah, I did kind of watch American Ultra, didn't I?
That's
I
what I
forgot
mean.
that
I
that
don't think
existed.
he reminds me of Kevin Smith. He's really interesting to listen to talk about movies, but I'm not a huge fan of his movies himself. Chronicle is like okay.
I at least appreciate that his personality shines through in the screenplay, and I can be like, yeah, this is one of his movies just by watching the movie. I don't think that they're like great movies so far. I liked Chronicle though.
I think Chronicle was just better than it deserved to be, and that's why everyone thinks it's so great.
Oh, Adam.
What's up?
I had two, going back to kind of like TV. I don't really like TV that much, but I do like, I guess you could call them like auteur-driven TV, which is just like you have one writer and director making like either like a small series or something.
Steve Van Knight.
So I had two of them. I had two to recommend.
Sure.
One of them is I know you really love Waves.
Oh yeah.
And the same cinematographer and quite a few of the same actors are in a show called Euphoria. It won.
Yeah, that's
Emmy
already
for
on my
Designated
watch
Best Actress.
list. That's good.
Yeah, it's really wonderful.
Isn't A24 behind that?
Yep, A24 made it.
Nice.
It was fantastic. And then the other one, this one I think you might already know about it, but Luca Guadagnino has a 8-episode series called We Are Who We Are that just came out.
Yeah.
It
just came out.
Written and directed by him. It just finished. It's amazing. It's the best.
Okay.
I'm thinking of editing things.
All right, I
phenomenal.
will check this out. Yeah,
Jack
because like
Dylan
I'm
Grazer
always
stars in it.
like, there are directors that I really love, and then some of them will take on like TV projects, but I'm always so under the radar on that they come out and I never know about them because like even though they're on my watch list, I like just don't realize when they're actually out. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I might check out some of that today.
Yeah, definitely do.
Adam, do you have any LGBT film recommendations?
I do, but
Call Me by Your
in of
Name, The
itself,
Handmaiden.
despite being a genre, there might be other genres that could be broken down.
I'm open to all recommendations. I just
okay. Well, there was one that we talked about on the podcast very recently called Short Bus. It's very pornographic, but that's kind of the point. It's like a sexually liberating kind of like experimental kind of movie. And then the same director made something called
Hedwig and the Angry
Hedwig and the Angry Inch, which I haven't seen yet, but I'm actually looking forward to a lot. That's supposed to be really good.
You're gonna
I've
love it.
referred that. It's awesome.
It's a very good movie.
Then there's the 2011 movie Weekend by Andrew Haig, Haigh or whatever. There's another movie called Weekend that I haven't seen, but so just don't confuse it with that one.
How do you feel about them being genre films?
Well, in a way, they kind of if they're like a gay romance film, then they're kind of like a LGBT movie. Whereas if there's gay people as main characters in a different genre, then they're just a regular movie with LGBT people in it.
It's how I feel with black people all the time. It's like there's Tyler Perry movies where it's basically the genre is watch a bunch of black people act like black people. I'd rather get a Little Shop of Horrors where it doesn't matter, it's just a genre thing.
Yeah, I would recommend Euphoria for that, for just gay content, for like really good gay romance.
Okay. What were you saying, Emily?
Oh no, I was just gonna say it's a genre now, but the hope is that it'll eventually become normal and it won't even be a genre anymore.
Yeah, I want a James Bond is what I want.
Yeah.
I want like a legit action franchise, but the dude just happens to be fucking other dudes.
Exactly right. I think that we sometimes though self-perpetuate some of these things, and I think like the black community has done a lot for that, of being like, we need more Spike Jonzes making movies about.
I think.
In a way.
No, los dos. Why not both?
Here's the thing, though, is like everything.
I think that it helps keep the segregation going.
It's really, if we're talking about big movies, right, that have money behind them, why would a studio put money behind something that is not considered to be a safe business investment when they can put money behind something that they do consider to be a safe business investment? Like that's what the industry is just like, that's why everything's remakes and sequels, is because they're considered to be not risky business investments. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it seems as though like in the overall timeline of I guess getting mainstream audiences to like accept LGBT characters, I think it's still much easier to put like a two female romance on screen in a way that most people will accept it than it would be to have two. Like if you had like an action, like lesbian action superhero character, like James Bond lesbian thing, I think that could probably still sell today. Because then, like, the macho dudes can still, like, project themselves onto the character. Be like, I like girls.
Yeah.
Well, and it has to do with norms, like you were saying. I think that, to an extent, I think that sexuality is generally pretty, it's a spectrum. And I think that on averages, of course, across the bell curve, I think that you see women being more deep into the spectrum than you do with guys. Guys tend to be pretty... especially in representation wise, we're pretty this end of the spectrum or this end of the spectrum. And so I think that's part of that normalization thing, where people feel more comfortable with seeing lesbian women because in their life they've seen more bisexual women with men.
It's also how we're brought up too as well, because males are like it's always a case of like we can't cry, we can't do this, we have to be strong, we have to be the man, whereas women are more allowed to express their emotions, kind of thing.
And there's very few things a woman would do where someone would be like, hey, that's gay.
Yeah. Yeah, we have toxic masculinity in the West.
Oh, it's terrible.
The West.
Bad in
Australia.
Go check out the East.
I'm not saying it's not everywhere. It's definitely everywhere. I'm just saying for like what we're talking about, it's mostly the West.
I don't think it's mostly the West. I think it's substantially worse in the Middle East.
I just don't tend to like to.
I don't know. You
have
to think that South
That's not
Georgia.
toxic masculinity. That's just straight up crimes.
You could say that the two go hand in hand, possibly, or you could even like point to something like Japan if we want to talk about like cultural and like media sort of thing.
Yeah, Japan's pretty sexist.
What's up?
Toxic masculinity is a spectrum. Ah.
Yeah. Everything is a spectrum.
Yeah, that's true.
On the autistic spectrum.
He's allowed to say that.
We need to get back from the
I don't.
autistic. They stole it from us. We need to get it back.
Yeah.
Would you call it? I've said it many times before, but I'm actually autistic myself.
Yeah.
So.
I was just making sure everybody else knew.
I think a lot of people are. So you're not alone.
I tend to give people the freedom of speech card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
would you call the 2009 film A Single Man an LGBT film?
Yes,
or
I
is
would.
it more of like a character study?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
nice.
would.
Cool.
A Single Man is a good LGBT movie. Because I think like, oh man, I haven't seen that in so long.
Man, it's really good.
Yeah,
Love
it's
it.
not. It's not
So-
really a standard like it's not like a romance thing per se. It kind of is, but
Yeah,
not
did
really.
it have to be a romance movie? That's kind of what I'm asking.
Yeah, it's
because I want to
not
call
really.
Tenet a black.
It's more like
movie
a.
because of
that's the thing.
More like a
black.
drama.
Yeah.
I recently rewatched The Talented Mr. Ripley. That's also good.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
LGBT movie.
I know it's supposed to be.
So I've never actually been into like on-screen romance. So like even if it's straight stuff, I just get so irritated with it. It's like if it's
like Princess Bride.
Princess Bride is an exception because Princess Bride is fun to watch.
It's one of those kissing books.
It's like a satire in a way on romance. Like the kid is like always like, oh, I don't want to see the kissing.
That's why I was bringing it up. Yeah.
I'm gonna pee real quick. I'll be right
Film
back.
ever made.
Hold on.
But here's the deal: is like when it comes to like even like LGBT films, if it's male or female, I just don't really care to see it.
Well,
as long as they're happy, I'm happy for them. But
The rest of
I don't
the
wanna
rest
see
of
it.
us horny bitches like seeing people get it on,
Like that's what my thing was. Is I'm just like, what would I see to constitute something as an LGBT film rather than just the original genre it is? Like if it's a mystery and they're gay, is it now an LGBT? Because for me, like Tenet isn't a black film because the main character is black. It's like it's a spy movie.
I don't know. Like when you put a mystery LGBT film, all I picture is a tongue-in-cheek Comedy Central skit. Like,
but that's what I mean, though. It's like I think that it's better for all of us in the community if we don't try to put walls around things to be like, oh, you don't have to watch that. That's for the gays.
That's pretty ridiculous.
That's for black people. You don't have to watch that.
And that's where I go back to my point. How I write characters who are.
Somebody brought up Bruno as a good LGBT movie.
I mean, it kind of. You know what though? You know what? Despite it being so like raunchy and intentionally explicit, I don't know. It did. Well, think about it. You had like one of the first instances of like a major hip hop artist, Snoop Dogg. He shows up at the end in the song, and he's like, "He's gay, okay," and kind of saying like, "Oh, that's okay." And that's a very tiny moment of the film, but I think that is actually something to give it credit for.
Okay, you know what? I could give that though. That would be interesting if
for like 2009, especially. Because like
I think
even like within the decade of the 2000s, like hip hop was still incredibly like the entire genre was like faggot. Like that was like hip hop.
Tyler the Creator
for a while, like gangster rap.
What makes autism so
Tyler
right
the
now?
Creator. Have you ever listened to Tyler the Creator?
Oh, I
He
love
said that
Tyler.
word a lot.
I like Igor a lot,
I
actually.
think he's gay.
Yeah.
Great album.
I was remembering back when The Last of Us 2
With
was
Flower
coming
Boy.
out, and they were like
God.
hyping it up because they were like, "Oh, they have,
Lesbian characters.
not only that, but they were like, oh, there are characters who don't look male or female. I can't remember the phrase for it. Gender fluid,
non-binary
looking characters." And it's like, who gives a shit?
Who said that though?
Like
that's the thing.
I think that was the Twitter crowd. more than
Polygon, maybe. Who knows?
Right. If you're watching, I doubt it would be Polygon. They don't want to risk their brand.
I think that was like a lot
the
of
thing.
people that like leaked it were claiming that was a.
You could post a picture of anything, find.
But you know what?
Yeah,
It makes sense why they look like that in The Last of Us Part 2. But I just don't see the whole.
It also just doesn't have to. That's kind of what I get at. Is like it doesn't matter. So
Also,
it drives me nuts that we make such a big thing out of it.
Also, I've been finding
it doesn't matter.
it's an old meme by now, but I'm still laughing at Lev getting punched in the face.
There's a lot of memes in
The person
The
chooses to
Last
be
of Us
non-binary.
too.
Like I don't think that they
Allowed
should have to
minority,
explain it and have a
exactly.
reason, like a good reason for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, I mean, like different things have different goals too. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, what's up?
I'm gonna bail, but I just want to say,
Sure.
thanks for your letter, dude.
Oh,
Really
no
nice
problem.
Yeah.
Thank you for the support. I really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
nice, man. Take it easy.
Thanks.
See you guys.
Bye. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Hi, have a good day.
Bye bye.
You know, that actually kind of makes me think. Elite Dangerous, the space game I play.
Mhm.
They have all these like modern haircuts in it, and some of the character generation just makes them look so fucking ugly, and it's like so bad.
I'm actually.
I had a lady.
We've been going for a couple hours here, and I'm gonna watch some stuff. But before we end, I will call everybody out one at a time by name. If you have like any final questions or comments that you wanted to add or ask or anything, let's start with Luke.
Nothing I can think of. Just you're great. Now I want to go into the accounting side of film because of you, because
Awesome.
I think it'll be important to have someone on that side that cares more about the art.
Yeah.
And thanks for everything.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for the support. Sebastian.
Yeah, I was wondering for your Lion King review, is it going to be in the style of like your Old Boy review, where like it was like scene by scene comparisons, or just
Kind of, not
once in a
really,
while?
because it's a very complicated review. It's not. Old Boy was easy to break up in that way. The Lion King, there's so much to talk about that I can't necessarily do that in that way. There are points
How long is it
where so far I'm at like hour and 15 mark. But anyway, yeah. So there are points where I do compare specific moments and scenes to each other side by side, because it makes sense. And there's points where I play like one after the other, like, okay, listen to this line delivery, then listen to this one, because it's important to be able to communicate those things in a way where it's still like fresh in your head. But yeah, I mean, like there's no like set rule of consistency in terms of like how I'm communicating each idea. It kind of just needs a different approach for each of them. Yeah, it's a very complicated review. There's a lot to talk about it. Chad, did you have any? Oh yeah, before your question, thank you, Diegesus, in the chat for the $5 super chat, and thank you for the message. What's up, Chad?
I would like to recommend anybody who is jonesing for Lion King content to check out the YMS Highlights channel and subscribe over there. It's been holding me over.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's
Thank you
wonderful.
very much.
And also the Netflix video that I just
sorry to cut in real quickly. Has the YMS Highlights guy ever been in here?
He's in here all the time.
He's here right now.
I'm here right now.
He's over there.
Wait, Grand Salamanca.
Salamander? I don't know.
Salamander? I don't know. Sorry, I didn't realize you were him.
Yeah, I am.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, that's
There
awesome,
he
man.
is.
Exactly.
There he is.
All right. Chris.
I have a recommendation for your video game channel.
Yes.
Yeah, there's actually a video game on based from the Spike Jonze Where the Wild Things Are for PlayStation.
Oh,
3.
really?
Yeah, I was watching the movie a while ago, and one of the trailers before the movie on my Blu-ray, it showed like a really old computer game of Where the Wild Things Are.
Okay. Is it only on? Well, I guess I'll look it up.
On Amazon,
really?
it's like
there's a PC game?
Well, not PC, but PlayStation 3.
PlayStation 3.
It kind of looked like a computer game from the trailer.
Okay.
But,
yeah, let's see.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find this right now. Here we are. Okay, it's also on the 360 and Wii. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always down to play more movie-related video games, because they're sometimes bad and funny.
I think this will be a good one.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'll be doing. Oh man, nah, I'm not gonna spoil it. Yeah, later this month there'll be one of those. All right. Jordan.
I was just gonna ask another video game recommendation, either two, but so Elite Dangerous is actually going to be free on the Epic Game Store this next week. Would you be willing to stream at least one episode for that?
What do you mean by episode? Is the game broken up episodically, or do you mean when?
It's a fucking endless thing. I've been playing.
Is
for
it
5
linear?
years.
Is it like a?
No.
Okay. Is it a multiplayer?
No.
What should I be playing it for? I don't really know much about the game.
Just watching you learn shit.
Okay, but what kind of a game is it? What kind of genre would you say?
Space flight sim.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't know if I'll. We'll see. There's other things I want to get to. The new Spider-Man should be showing up at my house today.
Oh yeah.
And so I want to play that tomorrow.
Yeah. And Chris Duckman just released a review of it.
Yeah, I've just finished it this afternoon. It was pretty good.
Oh, awesome. What were you saying, Jordan?
So if not that, then there's also another game, Scavenger SV4.
Scavenger
SV4. It's really good.
What kind of a game
is
that?
That one is a little more linear. It's more of it's again a sci-fi game.
Okay.
You're on a spaceship that is, you go to a planet below and find resources and then take them back to an outpost.
Okay.
For money, and then you end the game.
All right.
However, once you leave, you end the game. So you have to make continuous trips back and forth between the planet and the ship, and load your rover out. But there's also potential hazards on the ship too.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah. No promises. Well, we're going in order here. Hold on.
I understand.
Sorry.
Diegesus, just send an email to my business email thing about podcast appearances. Thank you for the super chat. Emily.
Oh, I was just gonna say thank you for having me. It's really cool that we have a chance to meet you before you become all famous. I love all your content, especially your music. Can't wait till you have concerts, if you plan on having concerts in the future.
I would love to. It's a whole other challenge figuring out how that's going to happen. Anyway, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it very much. Sean?
Yeah. Well, I have a question and I have a little recommendation. So the recommendation, I know that you love Jim Cummings. There is a phenomenal movie that he's actually in called Greener Grass, and it is the funniest comedy of the last, I think, probably 5 years.
Yeah, I think LW told me about it. I think it might be on my watch list.
Yeah, it's written, directed, produced, and starring these two women, these two women, Jocelyn DeBecker and Don Louiby, and it's it's literally the best way to describe it is just it's what if aliens came down to Earth and tried to make a movie about humans. It is the most inhuman, uncomfortable. If you like Tim and Eric humor, it's very uncomfortable and very funny.
Okay, yeah, I'll check it out for sure. I do like Tim and Eric humor. Yeah, I could see myself watching that soon. I just man, there's some films that try to imitate Tim and Eric stuff that just are really not great, like The Greasy Strangler.
It's really unique in its own thing.
I'm sure. Okay, thank you.
It's so unabashedly it's something. And then the one question is I know that you said Igor, you really loved Igor. Is there any albums from this year or last year that you really liked recently?
The one that I like the most recently would be Visions of Bodies Being Burned by Clipping.
I love that one a lot.
The song 96 Neve Campbell is really good, and it's also a movie reference, which is nice, but it's really dope. I like that song a lot. 96 Neve Campbell is the name of the song. Clipping is the name of the band. Anyway.
They're my favorite rap group of all time. Yeah.
Oh, really? I just found out about them 2 weeks ago. So
if you know the album Splendor and Misery, it is the craziest, wacky. It's literally it's the best album. It's the best rock album of all time for me. It's from them. It's it's literally like a crazy science fiction movie, but it's an album. Like it literally got nominated for a Hugo Award.
Okay.
For science fiction, but it's literally just like an album, and it's like the craziest wild. It's like about like a slave.
That sounds really cool.
Like it's about like the entire like black race has been like re-enslaved, and they're all on like a spaceship about to die, and then one of them just kills everyone, and then like they're all just like going crazy, going towards their death. It's really, really crazy. It's really good though.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Suspiria.
I have 2 recommendations.
Sure.
The show Euphoria is absolutely outstanding.
For
I love
sure.
That show.
That is
Feels
on
like
my
a
watch
teen
list.
show that was not written by a 60-year-old.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah, I've heard some people like complaining about like excessive sex or drugs or something
will-
like that.
I will move that up on my.
It's shocking, I know.
On my list, I guess. Now that so many people have.
The recommendation is called "In the Realm of the Senses." It's very.
That's like NC-17.
That sounds familiar. Let's see.
It's really fun.
Yeah, Nagisa Oshima. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, that is on my watch list, but I have not seen it yet.
Thank you for everything, by the way.
Oh, thank
You're
you so
wonderful.
much. Thank you for the support. All right, Alex.
Oh, me. Hello.
Yes.
I just want to say, Adam, I know working so hard on all of your videos can be incredibly tiring, and you considering the minimal amount of stuff I listened to your recent album and the fact that you relate to Synecdoche, New York, I can't say that I know the inner machinations of your mind, but just know that here we all appreciate you, and we don't see you as just this brand or this hole that content comes out of. We see you as like a person, and we appreciate you. And we know that you probably maybe are like worried that people won't see you for the person that you actually are, but we do. And I just, if I can just spread positivity instead of just using this as a way to talk to people, instead just, you know, you're such a great creator, and I want to just compliment you and maybe like make you a little bit more happy. And I know this is a really awkward moment, but I just want to.
No, it's not. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Say this.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. It does. I appreciate it.
I'm happy. I'm happy that you're happy.
Okay,
well, I'm fucking leaving.
All right. No worries. Thank you so much.
Bye, man. Have a good day.
This was very awkward. Bye bye.
Don't feel bad. Oh, fuck it.
No.
He watched the archive version, so we know how appreciative we are of him.
Well, just real quick, just to confirm, how do you feel about like artists just taking your content and then like, what if I made like say an animatic
Oh yeah.
of one of your music videos or something?
Sure.
Like,
Yeah. I don't.
cool?
Yeah. I'm not. I am pro artistic freedom. I usually there's people that have like uploaded my entire videos with subtitles in different languages, like hard coded for Russian, or there's like a Russian dub channel of mine. There's like a Chinese one.
Wow.
I like don't even care. I'm like, well, I'm like not in the I'm not in the market for that. They'll have fun just getting the same copyright claims that I do, I guess. But
you did say that in Kimba, so the whole Simpsons did it bit.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It really if it's in a way where if someone's taking something of mine and they're pretending it's not, then I might out of principle be a little more irritated by it.
Understandable.
But yeah, generally it doesn't hurt to ask, but generally I don't mind. I don't care. I don't.
Yeah, I figured. I just wanted to, sure. All right.
Okay,
Well, thank
you.
Yeah, thanks for sharing your time with us and all.
Oh, thank you. Miguel.
Oh, hey Adam. I just want to thank you so much for being a content creator, and I've been watching your stuff since I was like 12. So.
Oh wow.
I just want to thank you. So I've been around since I'm pretty sure the very beginning. I just want to thank you. I know everybody else gave like a recommendation. I don't want to throw my college under the bus, but we produced, and one of them is not that great.
Sure.
It's called Redline. It came out in 2013.
Okay.
It's
not the anime Redline.
Yeah, it's not that Redline. But my school produced it for less than $1 million. I think it's a terrible film, but I don't want my college to be like, hey, this asshole is saying this online. But yeah, if you're ever into doing a bad film review, that's definitely it.
Okay, I cannot promise I'll do a review on it, but I'll add it to my watch list, and if I see it down the road, then perhaps, maybe, we'll see.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. Boards of Cinema.
Yeah. All right. So first of all, I'd like to, ask you a question about like there's some Quiet Place spinoff that's gonna come out. It's gonna be like written and directed by Jeff Nichols of like Take Shelter instead of John Krasinski, who
Jeff
like
Nichols hasn't been good for a long time. What's it called?
But it's still interesting to see like somebody else do the same concept, I guess.
So it's a spin-off, so it's like attached to the...
Yeah, but it's not with the same family at all. It's just in that same universe.
Okay, I'm gonna look this up. A Quiet Place, new film, sets Jeff Nichols to write and direct new pick in a Quiet Place universe based on the John Krasinski idea. Okay, so this might be the new fucking J.J. Abrams Cloverfield bullshit. I don't know. This might be what's happening to A Quiet Place. We'll see.
Oh, please
turn to form.
Yeah, and I'm also very happy with you like finally like promoting your gaming videos and your music channels at the end of like your regular vid.
Sometimes I feel weird about it, but I just gotta get over that. It's like fuck it.
Yeah, but
I don't do
I think it's
sponsorships.
good.
I can promote my own shit.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah.
I found your gaming channel from you putting them on the end of your videos and having clips.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
really
Some
fun.
people just like, how would people know about it if I don't promote it?
Yeah, exactly.
So I might as well.
But that's a non-invasive way to do it, I feel like, too. You just have little clips at the end.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty non-invasive.
I think the first thing I saw of your channel was where you got stuck in the turnstile in one of those games.
Oh, yeah. Boards of Cinema, was that all your question? But you just wanted to ask about my thoughts on that?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, it's... Jeff Nichols hasn't been good for a while, and even then he wasn't amazing. But we'll see what happens. I don't know. I'm like willing to give Quiet Place stuff a chance, but like the first movie was just so frustrating. Like it was literally like, what if you made a horror movie out of just convenient things happening the entire time? And like that was literally the whole movie was just... It was like, oh, you're not supposed to be loud here, but something might happen that might make some loud noise. And that was like the whole movie, and it was just so frustrating. Anyway.
I thought the ending was pretty annoying, too.
Yeah.
The very, very end, because it's...
Yeah.
It implicates something that should have happened a long time ago.
Yeah, right. All right, Shaw? Is that your... Hello.
I don't know. I came in late. I don't know if
worries.
anyone mentioned the Queen's Gambit. Did anyone see that?
No.
Or
I
like
saw
it?
it.
I haven't got around.
Somebody mentioned it in the YouTube chat.
I saw it and it was pretty
loved it.
okay.
Who
I loved it a
did a
lot.
great job.
Okay.
I think
Funny
Anya
'cause-
Joyce Taylor should be on everyone's radar.
It's funny because
Anya
Yeah.
Taylor-Joy is
Isn't
what I
she going to
see.
be in the Northman?
Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yep.
That's
Also,
what the
Bjork is
name
in
is
Northman.
on IMDb.
She
And
was
that's what
in
I've known it as.
Thoroughbreds.
It is. I'm crazy.
Yeah,
And
you
The
are
Witch,
crazy.
yeah.
She's been in a bunch. She was
Funny
in
that
the Shyamalan.
Peaky Blinders.
She's been in a bunch of stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I almost forgot about that other movie that Thoroughbreds, yeah. That was
Yeah,
good.
she's
I'll
moving
watch
on
that
up.
again.
That was great.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll put Queen's Gambit on my watch list. I'm so slow at watching shows. However, I have started incorporating mini series into my like top 10 of the year videos. So worst case scenario, I'll be watching that when I make my top 10 of 2020. Even though I'm still trying
Dudley
to get
from Harry
2016
Potter's
done.
also
I
in
know,
it.
but...
He's very good.
I hear cell phone interference.
Oh, that might be on your end. I don't hear anything.
That shouldn't be.
Well,
No
I
speakers
heard a
are
buzzing
shielded.
too.
Oh, well, I don't know then.
It's gone now.
Is that all you wanted to ask, Sha?
I guess I was gonna say, I'm in the middle of trying to watch 6 Feet Under for the first time.
Oh yeah.
Which my mom recommended to me. Same with the Queen's Gambit, and so I don't know.
Yeah, 6 Feet Under. It's my response to what my favorite TV show is, but I don't really know if it is because I haven't seen it in so long. But I recently found like they have like the HD stuff on HBO Max now. So there is HD stuff available, which might make me more inclined to check it out again.
Yeah, I have the box set because I liked how it looked.
Oh yeah,
It was on
I
sale.
almost bought it when I was younger.
So I figured, why not? So
I was just
I
like
guess that's it.
waiting for a Blu-ray that never happened. So sad about that. All right. Pretentious bloke.
Shit, I don't have anything to say.
That's fine.
I love your channel. Thanks for setting time to do this.
Thank you so much. Salamancer, what's up?
Little PSA, the Criterion sale applies to pre-orders, so you can get The Irishman for just $20.
Good to know. Good to know.
BarnesandNoble.com.
Yeah. I don't think there's any Barnes & Noble in Canada. They do ship to Canada, but still, it's like, yeah, shipping is more expensive. There's like import fees and stuff, but...
What is the Canadian Barnes & Noble?
Chapters.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, Chapters Indigo, I guess, but I don't think they don't sell Criterion movies.
I'm actually in the next Criterion for Ghost Dog. I actually asked.
Oh yeah, that's
Jarman.
coming out. That'll be cool. I haven't seen that yet, but
Criterion for what?
Ghost Dog, Jim Jarmusch.
Ghost Dog.
Yeah.
I'll watch it. I'll be more inclined to
it's
watch
out
it
now.
because of the Criterion. Nicole,
Yeah,
did
it's
you
out
have
now.
any questions or comments?
I just want to say I'm actually happy I can finally join this call because I've been like a Patreon since February, but I'm always busy on Saturday nights.
Oh no.
So it's just
I'm
like,
sorry.
oh my god, I can finally join. No, it's not your fault, it's mine, to be honest.
Yeah, I can like
But
switch it up.
I'm happy
at
to
some
support
point,
anyway.
Maybe. I just assumed
I was gonna say
like
weekdays are usually the best for me.
yeah. Oh, that's so weird because I assume like Saturday probably makes the most sense for most people.
You could maybe
So I
like
don't know.
post a.
Not me.
You can make a poll on Patreon asking like what generally would work most.
Maybe I should alternate or
That'd be
something.
a good idea.
That
What
might
would
be
you?
the way to go.
So like, if not Saturday day, then what day would work? Like a Wednesday?
I
Should
think,
I aim for like a?
Tuesday night is like the best time for me because that's when I'm actually on my computer all night.
Mhm.
Me
So obviously
too.
I'm in the UK, so time zones are a thing.
More
as
than
well.
one, really. More than one. Tuesday night's the best. And night for you would be 1 p.m. for me though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll see. I'll have to think about that. Because then it's like, yeah, it's like no matter what I do, there's always going to be somebody. But yeah, I should change it up, I guess.
Yeah.
Thank you for your support.
Of course.
Is there anything
I
else
just
you
want to
wanted?
thank you, obviously, for all the content that you make. And your album was absolutely fantastic. My favourite song is Wish Sticks. I've had that on repeat since you
Awesome.
brought it out.
Thank you so much.
Of course. And also, would you be doing any more VR chat videos with your friends? Because those are my favourite to watch on your gaming channel. At the minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are
I would like
hilarious.
to, yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, I've played VR chat more times than I've streamed. I've played it probably like 4 or 5 times, but only streamed it once because I was paranoid about, like, I guess, I don't know, you could run into people saying, like, the N-word, or people can, you know, have, like, sexually explicit avatars that might not get banned before you catch them sort of thing, or, like, if it's in a private world. Like, there's so much on that I'm, like, just, like, don't want to get banned streaming it sort of thing. I guess other people manage to stream it just fine, but I would have to like just do private worlds only where everybody knows I'm streaming sort of thing. I don't know.
That's how we should just do these.
That would actually be a fun perk on Patreon.
Maybe.
where Adam plays his
But yeah, the I could see. I think Sickab's probably got some ideas for some other like VR chat worlds that we could just join in together again, just the 4 of us or something, and see what happens.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, I would like to do that again. That was fun. All right. Thank you. Thank you all so much for joining. Thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Yeah, this was great. No worries.
I'm gonna watch some stuff.
Enjoy.
Check out the
Watching more
two
festival
newest
stuff.
episodes of Eric Andre that I haven't seen. I'm gonna check out Moonbase 8 and see what that's like.
That's like the A24 show. You know,
Yeah,
like the
Tim
show.
Heidecker, I think so.
Ah.
Yeah, we'll see. It might be
Awesome.
crap. I don't know, but I'll find out. I'll see what it's like. Anyway, thank you so much. Have a wonderful,
Y'all have a nice day.
wonderful
Take care of
period of
yourself,
time
Adam.
that you happen to be in.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.